Agents of I.C.S. is a Monster of the Week horror podcast meant for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Why, hello there, everyone, and welcome back to Monster of the Week. We are mid-throwdown with what I just described as a wall of teeth. Kaiba just put on the mask and is slowly turning into Marissa, at least we hope so. And that's where we paused last week. Let's see how our agents are faring. Hola, I am returned.
Hola. Welcome back.
Thank you. Alrighty. As mentioned, I guess to reset the scene very quickly. Carson, you were grabbed but a moment ago. You and Kaiba had your phones out and you were shining light at this thing and or taking a picture of it. Kind of a combination of testing various, avenues of what can we do to this. Carson, you were grabbed. You fell, but you were able to wriggle your way out and stand. Phone not broken. You're set. Margot, you went to strike it, and while you did indeed slice off a handful of arms, you were grabbed all over. Your weapon's grabbed, your arms, legs, everything's grabbed. It's not super firm, but there's a ton of them, and you're slowly being dragged into this thing's maw. Kaiba, you decided, hey, let's slap that mask on real quick. And you believe it's working. It feels as if it's working. As the transformation magics are doing their thing, Marissa just barely turned her head and looked over to you, and you can hear the panic in her voice, not yet see it. In terms of what this entity is doing, as I mentioned, rows of teeth, not so great. If Marissa looks, it moves. Shining light on it causes it to your eyes at least, disappear, but you're pretty sure it's still there. There are arms coming out of the mouth, and the room is beginning to fill with a smoke. And that's precisely where we shall pick up. With Marissa turning to Kaiba, not shrieking necessarily, but very panically just saying, oh.
Well, I was going to say don't look this way, but I guess I'm too late for that.
I want to shout out to her and to look at me. I want to see if I move with the creature or if it lets go.
Ready. You are currently grabbed, aren't you? Yeah, that's a good point.
I am, yes.
All right.
I mean, is she grabbed by the creature or by the mouth wall?
Same thing.
Okay.
So, at least to your knowledge, same thing. As you shout this out, she very shakily begins to turn towards you, Margot. While this is happening, Kaiba, you're not sure how far the mask has worked its magic, but you can very much feel it beginning to dig into your flesh, as if just hundreds of little fingers are just worming their way into you. It doesn't necessarily hurt, it's just incredibly uncomfortable, as if they're filling your pores with something foreign. For Margot, though, when you say this, Marissa turns. She slowly turns her head as if trying not to. You guys have been trying to tell her, don't turn, don't look. But you're asking her, so she kind of snaps out of it, turns to look in your general direction, and the arms within the teeth kind of gnash alongside. They don't break free, and you don't move as far as you were expecting to, Margot, but yes, you do indeed. You're scooted basically along the floor. I'd say maybe 5 feet to your right, since you're facing the creature.
So is she getting a better view of the creature then, or do the arms extend?
To your knowledge, she cannot necessarily see it. So you don't know what she sees. All you know is when she mentions, oh, I see it, and she turns to look at it, she turns, the whole thing shifts.
Does it shift as in moving, or is it instant teleportation kind of deal?
For what happened right now, it looks as if it moved with her vision.
Nice.
So you're still held in place, Margot.
When it's mask and done, we're going to try to see if we can pincer it, I guess. See how it reacts.
Oh, corner it in a certain direction?
Yeah, and then center our vision and see if it jumps around still, if it can.
All right, well, in that case, you should probably call out which direction you want her to look.
Probably, but I can still not see, right?
For a few moments, your vision is blurry. Initially, upon slapping the mask on Kaiba, the eye holes just don't open, and this is incredibly worrying to you. But after, I'd say about 10-20 seconds, they don't fully form, so you can kind of see, but going forward, not for this entire encounter, you'll have a -1 to anything that needs your eyes, but it will go away after the mask stabilizes. So you can still shout commands, you can still technically throw things, because you can generally see what you're looking at. If it's a precise action, though, like a pistol or a sniper from across the room, that will apply.
Yeah. I'll just tell it to, keep focusing on Margot. Don't look my way, just focus on my voice. I'm getting closer now.
Okay, she's nodding along. She's nodding along. She's like, all right, don't turn around. Don't look at him. And across the way, you can see Emmanuel. He's kind of near one of the walls, and he's nodding to her while looking in her direction. It's the, come on, keep it up. You got it. You got it. And Margot, she is looking towards you. You can still see, or feel at least, that you're being held very tightly by something, and you're slowly being dragged into it. But to your knowledge, Marissa cannot see this. Carson, you are standing and free to move.
And Margot, you kind of want to be in that position, right?
No, not really.
Oh, I thought you were kind of going with it.
I mean, I'm going with it right now, but I have to break free.
Well, I think I'm going to try helping you to break free, because you're our muscle. So
And our meat shield.
And our meat shield. And you
sadly,
can't,
also correct.
You can't be a meat shield if you're tied up.
I love you guys too.
Well, what can I say?
This is why I don't make bulky characters.
Wimpy.
Exactly.
How is Margot being held?
To your knowledge, she's being held by a multitude of arms. There's basically one on each of her limbs and two on her weapon. The same spindly arms that were holding onto you, Carson.
I
Could see
have
shining some light on
my
the works.
weapons. Wait, what?
Could see you shining some light on the works, if it does anything.
I did have my flashlight on, right? On my phone.
Yep, you didn't drop it.
So.
Did it react to it at all?
So you're able to do this for free. Doesn't really cost any actions, as you can turn relatively quickly, flash your light towards it, and while you can no longer see that it's there, Carson, you confirm, with Margot not moving, that she is still indeed grabbed by it. It seems the light just no longer allows you to see it, which I don't think I need to say is not great.
So you said it does move?
Yes, so Margot, after the light is shown in your general direction, you can almost feel it hitting behind you and illuminating everything around you, Margot. Looking around, from your perspective at least, Margot, what's directly in front of you, the area blocked by the light, you can indeed still see the gnashing teeth and more hands slowly slinking their way out. But the ones that were grabbing you, that are exposed to the light, you can no longer see, but you can feel them.
So they haven't released at all. We just can't see them.
Correct.
Well, I can extrapolate where it is, right?
Yes.
You can just stop shining the light on it.
I'm gonna stop shining the light, but I'm also gonna try hitting it with one of the arms. Like, I'm gonna try hitting it with my baseball bat.
Sure, you're trying to break Margot free?
Yeah.
Sounds
You're
good.
You're trying to break Margot?
I'm trying to break Margot.
Well, that would be a fail.
Good luck.
Are you sure it would be a fail?
If you break Margot, yes. So let's act under pressure and not fail.
She really wants to break Margot.
Well,
Snake Eyes.
we're off to a good start.
We got Snake Eyes. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Make sure you mark experience, Carson.
Sorry, Margot. I break the meat shield.
You meet the shield
Break
with
her
your
fingers.
baseball
no longer
bat.
Use her weapon.
The weapon breaks.
Yeah, so you said it's a baseball bat, right?
Yeah.
All right. As you move in to attempt to free Margot, you begin to swing, and you actually hear, as you charge forward, Marissa sort of shout, because she can't see this thing you're swinging at. It looks like you're about to just brain Margot. So as she shouts, you hear sort of a grumbling and a mumbling in the background, and you can hear her breathing sort of begin to pick up as she's freaking out more and more. Fortunately, Carson, as you're swinging at these hands that are holding Margot in place, you're actually really easily able to break them one at a time. Just smash, smash, smash. Your weapon does not break. They are relatively weak, but from what you can tell, they more so function in a group rather than individually. So as you're smashing these arms free, Margot, you're able to wriggle yourself out a little bit. You're still like half held. You can still do whatever you need to, Margot. Your arms are free. Your weapon's free. You know, one of your legs is free. Smaller ones are, yeah.
While she's smashing, are the arms coming out willy-nilly, or do they look like they're centered like an origin point?
From what you can tell as you're watching, Margot, they look like they're coming out at random. Now, let's see. I'm trying to see if there's a better way I can answer this that benefits you. Honestly, roll me read a bad situation, because technically one of those can be answered and you can get a plus after that. And then I'll finish Carson's roll in a second. Oh, boy.
Snake Eyes?
Is that two Snake Eyes back to back?
Yep.
Mark experience, Margot. All right.
I see Pathfinder took all our luck.
For that last session, we got a lot of crits.
Oh boy.
Are you kidding? We got an astronomical amount of crits.
I literally rolled.
That means I'm even fucked even more because I had the most crits.
Yes, you did.
I rolled at the beginning of that session. I rolled 3 1s and went, oh boy, and then I proceeded to roll like 3 or 4 crits. So
Yeah.
the die rolls a 1 or a 20. There's no numbers in between. We don't need those. Same with the d6s. Apparently, we got 2 1s and 2 1s. Woo! Wow, the odds of that. Okay. Moving forward, Margot, you begin to look around. So I can tell you this: there's a lot of arms. They're seemingly pouring out at random. At this point, while Carson is smashing and breaking them off of you, you're not sure if they're focused on anyone or any direction in particular, but you're noticing it's taking Carson a bit longer, and as you look down, you can see it's because more of them are grabbing onto your legs, almost in a wave. And as this is happening, we'll go ahead and combine both of these hard moves. For one, more of the smoke begins to furl out. And being as close as you are, Margot, unfortunately, you get the brunt of it. It causes you to cough. This is... it's something you've inhaled before, but there's something sickly about it. It doesn't smell like burning necessarily, like a home on fire or something. There's an extra layer of, what the hell's going on here? And you begin to hear Marissa panicking, and she's taking a step back, and the area, the vision, you can feel your feet being dragged along the floor ever so slightly, Margot. She's panicking more and more. And suddenly, from all around, all directions, you hear a deep, guttural voice as the teeth smash together, almost indecipherable. It repeats over and over, and the more it does so, the more Marissa begins to panic. And at the height of her panicking, you hear her begin to cough. And this is not a normal cough. The coughing ends up getting pretty worrisome by about 5 or so seconds into it. And you just hear the voice just saying, down, down, down. As all this is transpiring, she's sort of just kind of hazily walking in a direction that maybe she cannot control. You can hear this, Carson, Kaiba, now that you're able to whip around, you can actually see her a little more clearly with your light, at least.
Am I close enough that I can try to calm her down?
Very much so, yes.
Oh boy. Now I'm going to ask a very difficult question. What do I roll for that?
Hoo boy. Okay, so you look like her, but you said don't look at me.
Yes. I mean, I'm specifically trying to do it from behind her back and have her look at me, but
it's definitely awkward.
Possible.
It's definitely awkward. Roll me convinced though. You're trying to calm her down and be like, hey, I need you to do this for me.
There goes my worst roll. That's good.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
All right, maybe we got those out of the way. Got a great mark experience.
Even Kaiba?
To be fair,
I mean, it's one of my worst rolls.
It's one of his worst rolls, to be fair. And you did not get snake eyes. That's a 4. All right. A lot of stuff happening suddenly. As you move up behind her, Kaiba, and you tell her to calm down, things will be all right. For a moment, her coughing subsides, but this voice gets louder and louder to the point where she can no longer hear you. And suddenly, you specifically, Kaiba, you begin to feel these arms reaching for you. They grab out at you rapidly this time. Before, it looked as if they were reaching randomly, maybe searching for Marissa. Now, though, they seem to intentionally leap out towards you and grab onto you, Kaiba. And now you're being pulled back. Not only this, though, you begin to, as you're speaking, a layer of annoyance as this voice that is just drowning you out. It almost sounds like it's coming from within your head, echoing and reverberating throughout these halls. You feel something in your mouth, though. It's making it difficult to speak. And if you didn't know any better, you'd think it was hair, very coarse, rough hair that's either growing out of the inside of your cheeks or your tongue, but regardless, it's getting in the way. It's you're not sure if you can get it out. It feels like it belongs there, but it very much does not. You can still speak, it's just making it difficult. And as Marissa is panicking and coughing more and more, you guys sort of hear a spark of realization come from Emmanuel. We need to go now. Marissa, come to me. And looking towards your group, he's motioning towards the stairs that he pointed out before. And he says, she's allergic to smoke. She won't last long down here. We need to go up a floor.
All right, run.
Yeah, let's get going.
All right, as she
He's
comes...
allergic to smoke?
Isn't everyone technically allergic to smoke, or what's the deal there?
As you're thinking this, she begins to run towards him, and they hit the stairs and begin to go up to the second floor. And he shouts back to you all, "I'm not sure if this is normal, but I'm assuming you have it cornered. Do your best."
All right.
All right. So
Will
is it focused
do.
on me solely now, or is it trying to follow him?
So currently, Margot and Carson, you guys can see a little easier. It seems these hands are actually focused on Kaiba. They're still moving towards the center of the room and not following Marissa. For a brief moment they did, but they redirected towards Kaiba.
Interesting.
I'm doing my part.
That's what we wanted.
I'm not.
So how tied up am I?
Not enough that it's super hindering, but it's about to be. The ones that are grabbing onto you can easily break by taking steps away from it, but they are coming at you so rapidly that...
I mean, I can still use my sword, like?
Oh yeah. They're grabbing at your legs. Basically, something needs to be done, or else.
Yeah. Then I'm going to start using my swords, I guess.
Hell yeah. Roll me to kick some ass, good sir. Slicey.
Yes, I'm so good at these.
I'll say you don't need your eyes for these because you just know where they are. They're on the floor.
Now, see, this is my worst roll.
Is this your -1?
Yeah.
I believe. An 8! There it is.
Not bad.
Alrighty, as you begin to cut away at these things, you're actually doing a fairly good job. You're able to take a few steps away. As you're looking around, though, Kaiba, your surroundings are changing ever so slightly. When you whip your vision around to face this thing and begin chopping and slicing, you notice something quickly. First, I can't see what I'm attacking. Not because of the mask. Maybe the mask is actually working a little too well. It's faded in the distance. And both Margot and Carson, you guys see your surroundings shift ever so slightly. Not as rapidly as they did with Marissa, but still, they move in a way that is a little jarring. As you begin to cut away at them, Kaiba, you're actually able to slice away all the arms with no issue. But a few of them rake up at your legs. Not doing as much harm, fortunately, as you're able to peel away most, but you will take 2 harm from this, as they grip and grab and attempt to pull you into the maw. Margo and Carson, what y'all doing?
I'm still pinned, right?
You're as pinned as Kaiba was. You can move, but if something is not done, you will be grabbed further.
All right, I'd like to break free.
Alrighty, roll me the same thing.
Remind me what that was?
Destroy some nerds, kick some ass. Trying to chop them all up, right?
Yeah.
For reference, this is doing damage to the thing. Oh my god, another
Hey, look,
4.
more snake eyes.
More snake eyes. Margot's just farming experience right now.
But I don't need experience.
I can give it to me.
Just funnel it his way. All right. Margot, as you begin to cut away, you are indeed doing just that. You and Carson are working at these things. Something begins to happen, though. The room begins to tremble. You realize you can actually no longer see your feet. The smoke is starting to roll in more and more. And you feel suffocated. Not literally, not just literally, within your lungs, but your body. It almost feels like something is just surrounding you. This sensation is particularly sharp for you, Margot, in this exact moment. And as this is happening, you were surrounded by this warm, scratchy, growling, just sensation that just refuses to stop. And while you cut, your sword is just so big. It's so heavy, you can't take them all. And you're grabbed again, this time pulled closer and closer to the maw. Margot, you will take 2 harm from this, and you were brought close enough that you are risking fairly grievous injury.
Thank you for stating the obvious.
No need to be bitter. I'm just kidding.
2 snake eyes in a row. I think I'm allowed.
Can I try saving her again?
Of course, yeah. Is it just more bat swinging?
You know, I think that because the bat was so bad, I'm not going to try with any of the other weapons. So act under pressure?
Attempting to free Margot, yes.
Ooh.
Hey, a 12. There we go. Alrighty. As you slide in, Carson, you can see Margot's movements slow ever so slightly. You're not sure if she's tired, if it's the smoke. You really don't know. But as you dash forward, attempting to assist Margot, your weapon is lighter, fortunately, and you're able to smash apart these arms with relative ease. And actually, you notice, after they finish grabbing onto her, they're no longer going for Margot. Instead, they're slinking along the floor, this time towards Kaiba. Margot, you are now entirely free, maybe 3 feet away from this maw. You had your blade pressed up against the teeth, pushing away to keep away from this thing. Fortunately, Carson moved in just in time to free you from its potential grasp.
My hero.
But now we can see along the floor.
I don't like the way you said that.
These arms are moving towards Kaiba.
I meant it legitimately.
All right, I'll allow it.
All right, so
Yes.
I'm kind of stumped on what to do here. If it's all around us, we need a focal point.
I am the focal point.
You're what it's looking at, but not what we're gonna have to destroy.
Investigate a mystery? Well, you can just roll for it, I guess.
Are you looking, Kaiba, or are you asking them to look?
I mean,
thought his eyes
can
weren't
either
working.
do that. They should be working now, right?
-1, but they do work, yes.
Yeah.
Can I investigate a mystery?
Yeah, I can do it either now or I can roll my armory again, see if I have a weapon that can, I don't know, help out this situation.
Both are options.
And since I have a -1, it's probably for the best if someone else investigates.
I mean,
try.
yeah, I will do it because I'm the one who needs to attack this thing.
So I should not roll.
It depends. So you can also read a bad situation. Your last one failed. That doesn't mean you can't try again. You can also investigate if you have a particular question. There obviously is the list of questions you can pull from, or if you have a particular one, that works as well.
I could also help out Carson.
Yes, you can. So Carson,
So
if you want
investigate a
to,
mystery.
yeah, if you want to look Carson, and then in case there's some mumbo jumbo, Margot can help. So go for it.
Yoink.
Perfect. Margot, help.
Oh, it's gonna have to be a crit. Or a 10, right?
No, just 7 to 9. Perfectly fine. Gives a +2 no matter what. Perfect. All right, with an 8, that brings your 5 to a 7 because she has the extra help out maneuver. You will be exposed slightly to danger, the two of you. But let's answer that question first before we go down that route. Carson, what do you want to know?
Well, how can we reach? So, okay. So Kaiba is now the focal point of the room, right?
Yes.
And we're trying to figure out if we can, flank it or something? Since it's all around us? This is a question for the team.
Guess, like, a way for us to, like, find the actual entity itself, like its core.
Yeah, I mean, is that something we can do?
Very much so. You're basically trying to see where you guys need to focus on to dispatch this thing?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so. Kaiba, while you are indeed currently the focal point, everything's wriggling towards you. You were able to free yourself. Margo, you're able to free yourself. And with assisting Carson, the two of you, Margo and Carson, look around the room and try to figure out what the hell exactly is going on here. You see plenty of arms, but you notice there are now fewer arms. They just seem to be laser focused on Kaiba. And as you're watching, you can see within the maw, ever so slightly, there seems to be a something wriggling back there, moving. And with no light shined upon it, with nothing really moving, and Marissa's not freaking out, Kaiba's remaining calm, it seems as if there's something inside its mouth, a body. And as you're looking, it sees you seeing it. You actually see it begin to move to the left or the right, like a predator stalking its prey, hiding in bladed grass.
All right. Well, I would like to.
I would like to see if I have a bomb that can throw in the mouth.
You said it's a body?
You see the outline of a body. Particularly, you see 2 rows of eyes.
Can I grab my gun?
You may, yes. Are you putting your sword down, or in? Actually, how do you holster it?
My case probably holds both gun and sword.
Okay. Oh, when you say gun, you mean your rifle?
Yeah, my sniper.
Oh yeah, sure, definitely.
And then I would like to take aim and fire and hope no one's behind there.
just gonna shoot straight at it.
I mean, it's gonna take setup, so.
Alrighty, as Margo goes to store her weapon, grab the sniper. Fortunately, you're not the focus of this general bullshit. As the two of you see her doing this, Kaiba and Carson, what are y'all doing? You said you want to get a bomb, Kaiba?
Like, I want to see if I brought anything area specific, basically.
Okay. Are we looking for more of like an explosion or like fire? Like more Molotov or?
I mean, yeah, realistically, we have found out that basically there's something in the mouth, and we aren't entirely sure if it's like corporeal, I guess. So even if it's a powder bomb that is supposed to help with ectoplasm or stuff or anything like that.
Okay, like salt or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to roll that up, and then technically you can toss it to Carson.
Don't toss me anything. Kidding.
Oh, okay. I have many of them apparently.
All right, you have more than what you need. Perfect.
Why is it always this one that I succeed on?
I don't know, but this is probably a good thing. So you'll have enough of whatever these nondescript bombs are that as long as the description's within reason, you have it on you. So you want to go for like more of an ectoplasmic, like salt salt splash first.
Basically, imagine like fairy fire, basically.
Yeah, sure. You want to throw it yourself?
Maybe
or
it's a sulfur bomb.
Toss
I
it
mean,
to
I have
Carson.
plenty, so like
Yeah.
I'll say grab them while you can, I guess. And I'll start tossing them myself as well.
If the two of you want to do that before Margot fires, I'll give you multiple options. Since there's two of you, this is perfect. I will let one of you do an act under pressure roll to toss it in there to not mess up. And if the other one wants to do a help out roll for Margot's attack, then we can decide that prior, Margot will roll her attack first, and you'll be dedicated to helping her out regardless of her roll outcome.
I'll do the help out one because I can't really see that well right now.
Perfect. So Carson, as he kind of tosses you one of these, you probably just trust whatever's in it is probably going to work. So go ahead and roll me act under pressure to huck it into the mouth. Nice. Alrighty, a 9. And then Margot, you're prepping your shot. Kaiba, for this one, we'll take the negative one for this one roll, then it'll go away for the rest of the session. Your vision will clear. So Margot, go ahead and kick some ass, and then Kaiba, roll to help out at a -1.
Well, it doesn't really matter if I help out on 8, honestly.
True enough, but go ahead and throw that dice out there anyway.
Okay, look. Experience.
You get experience, yeah, see?
Woohoo!
This is the experience session, clearly. Alrighty.
Prize.
Is this going to inflict the harm?
Yes, this will inflict 3 harm.
Oh.
So you can roll your extra bullshit. Finish him. Beautiful. All right.
I inflict 1 extra.
All right, so that's 4 total.
Yeet.
Beautiful. Alrighty. So let's resolve all this in order. First and foremost, Kaiba, you realize you got some good shit on you. You toss one to Carson, keep one for yourself. Looking back to Margot, you see that she is setting up her sniper rifle while these little wiggly arms are coming towards you guys. The room is slowly filling with the smoke, and you can hear that mumbling voice in the background. It's nowhere near as loud as before. Still can't really tell what it's saying. It seems like other words are being snuck in there, and you can still hear them, ascending the stairs, moving off to wherever they are, both Emmanuel and Marissa. Carson, you chuck this bomb that Kaiba offered you, and it explodes with a combination of both like salt and other maybe blessed materials, other minerals that maybe we think can disrupt whatever this thing is. Shit, if it breathes, breathing this in we know will be bad. So regardless, something in here should assist us. And it very much does. As suddenly, rather than moving about in the way that it was, you stuck it dead on, it begins to buck, and you can actually see the teeth, almost like a wave. It just moving up and down, and some of the arms are actually severed from this, specifically the ones heading towards you, Kaiba. And they are cut, dissolving into shadow as they wriggle towards you needlessly. So slightly saved there, but more of this shadow begins to, culminate on the floor, and it's still very difficult to see your feet, but we can kind of hear this thing moving about. As it's stunned and stuttering, Margot, you're ready to fire your shot, and Kaiba, you go to throw this bomb, and something catches you. You're not sure if it's physically or emotionally, mentally, it's something just odd that racks at you. But this voice doesn't seem to affect the other two, of Carson and Margot. But for you, Kaiba, it rings loudly in your ear, repeating over and over. You hear screaming of multiple voices. You hear stop very clearly. But the second voice, you hear it's angered, it's panicked. The other voice that seems to be coming from you, Kaiba, though, are pure screams of terror. Just absolute unhinged terror. As the screaming gets louder and louder, and that deep voice just grates at you. Down, just over and over and over. You, Kaiba, will take 2 stress, wherever you would like, and 1 harm as this racks at your brain.
Well, give me that fatigue, I guess.
Lay it on me.
My delicate mind.
As that begins to build up, Kaiba specifically, it'll be very clear for you, you feel as if you're reliving something, an experience you did not witness, someone else's memories. Every time you close your eyes, you're getting flashes of the sky, of a tree, someone rushing towards you, and you're being smothered in hair. it's like filling the back of your throat. It feels awful. Margot, you see Kaiba kind of freeze up for a moment, not really realizing what it is, but you see this thing has frozen. Now's the time to take your shot. And you do. It strikes the beast, containing no armor, for 4 damage, and you hear it just howl and scream. And as it does, the gnashing teeth continue to do so. And for you, Margot, after you kind of pull the sniper down a bit to verify the shot, the thing seems to be gone. You definitely hit it. You 100% hit this thing. But where the hell is it? And suddenly, you hear pitter-pattering coming from behind you. And the 4-legged creature, the size of, oh lord, not a horse, like a small horse, comes hurtling, like a horselet, comes charging for you, Margot, all blades and teeth. You're able to roll out of the way just barely as one of its fangs rakes up your arm, drawing blood. With your armor, go ahead and only take 1 harm from this. So it would have been 2 minus 1.
No. I think I want to do my machismo.
Oh, yeah, sure. Machismo. I forgot you had that. All right. What does a 9 mean for machismo?
I heal 1 harm.
Really? All right. So you take 0.
So hang on.
Do you still become unstable though?
You want to link it real quick? I love the miss. It's so funny. You pretend like it didn't hurt.
Okay, so it just negates?
I will say for this instance, yes, you will not become unstable. Your armor would have blocked out the unstable damage. The rest of it you take and then instantly heal, so you just take nothing, basically.
Okie dokes.
We'll say instead, the tooth doesn't rake as deeply as it did. It's a surface scratch, mostly cut your nice jacket, unfortunately. But you're able to roll out of the way in time. And now the 3 of you can see this 4-legged beast that is seemingly just covered in quills, with a long, jagged smile that seems to run up to its midsection on its body. It has 4 glowing red eyes smacked right in the middle of its head. And it was looking at you, Margot. Now it's looking at Kaiba.
Well, just so we know, I was set up right beside my gun sword case, so I'm just going to set the gun down and go after the sword.
Works for me.
Since we lured it out. Can I attack now or no?
I play scapegoat in defensive stance.
Is that Margot?
Actually, can I help her out by making myself the victim?
Yeah.
Making myself nice and open, basically.
Yeah, you're trying to help out her attack?
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. Carson, what are you doing?
I'm gonna stuff one of those things I have in his mouth, I guess.
Nice.
I really don't know.
That's fair. You can hang back while Margot makes her attack and then follow up.
Yeah, I'll follow up.
Sure. All right, Margot, roll kick some ass, and then Kaiba roll on the help out. Unless she rolls a 13.
Oh.
You do have advanced kick some ass, don't you, Margot?
Yeah, but it's 12 and up.
Indeed.
Yes.
Meaning,
if I succeed in this.
Bingo.
Not that I will, but that's technically a succeed, right?
Yeah. A mixed success. Anything 7 and up is always a success. There's just some bullshit that happens after. So, Margot, you have a full success on your kick some ass. Kaiba has a mixed success. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, let's get to how much damage you're going to do as you draw your blade. This thing switches over towards you, Margot.
All right, well, that's just straight up 3.
You have a list of shit you can do now. What is this?
For the kick some ass, is it distracted as in it won't hurt me, or could it still hurt me?
Normally it would still hurt you, I think.
Oh, no, I think I want to hurt.
Inflict double harm?
So I will say this. This one does have armor. You can tell it's very prickly and spiky, so your 3 harm sword is only going to do 2 harm. If you want to get that extra bonus...
The more harm I can do, the better?
Bingo, yes.
I will do double the harm.
All right, that brings you up to 6, and only minus 1 is 5. Okay. That's a lot.
And one more question. We discussed this already, but I can't remember how we ruled it out. I can do finish him too.
Yes.
So I do 1 extra harm, so I would do 6, 7 harm?
Correct, minus 1.
So 6 harm.
Armor.
6 harms, you got armor. Wow, alrighty. All right, this is not going to down it, but it's going to do a stupid amount of damage. You are really going to hurt this thing.
This is what I built myself for.
Precisely, and it's been exposed. Kaiba, what are you doing exactly to help? And then Margot, you tell me what this looks like.
I'm just making myself a very nice target, basically, and having it run at me. And then as it gets close, I'm going to stick one of those bombs in its mouth and hold it in place, I guess.
Excellent. And then Margot, you take this opportunity, as it's very clearly going for Kaiba and paying you no mind. You...
I'm just going to try to slice it across its body.
Alrighty. And as it jumps in to bite at Kaiba, its absurdly wide mouth stretches forth, and you're able to catch it right in the lip, and you cut as deep as you possibly can. This thing looks like it would sever itself in half with how wide its mouth opens, but it stops at about the midsection. Unfortunately, you do not assist this thing in becoming two, but you do an absurd amount of damage as you're able to like, twist your sword into its gullet and rip it out with the momentum it uses jumping forward. You hear it howl out in pain. And normally, I would have, of course, you exchange harm as you normally would. This one's going to be in two parts. It's not going to harm Kaiba from his mixed success. Margo, you will indeed take some harm. So this would be 3 harm. You have your armor, so -1. 2, you want to use Machismo again?
Yes.
Roll it up. Alrighty.
I heal 1 harm.
You heal 1, so you take 1. This does make you unstable, though.
You know what? I think I can function pretty well on an unstable because I'm so used to it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This thing, as it dove for you, Margot, you realize this is an excellent chance, probably the best chance you're going to get to strike at it, but it is just a well of teeth, all aiming in absurdly nonsensical directions. So while you do indeed strike, one of the teeth on the pullback pierces through the back of your hand and out the front side of your palm, and you begin to bleed fairly heavily from this.
Who, me?
Yes, you. You're able to still kind of grip your weapon, but you feel as if any more damage to your hand or your arms, and you might have some issues actually wielding this thing. While this is happening, though, while Kaiba would possibly share in some of the love on this, the beast seems to still be jutting around and moving. It looks very much injured, but focused, and it pauses for a moment. Its rapid shaking nature ceasing. As it just sits there, it looks up. And as it does, you can see on the second floor of the parking garage, looking over the edge, you see Emmanuel standing, looking down at you all. He turns away for a moment, and he turns back to you all. As he does, Marissa joins him at his side. And if she looked panicked before, you ain't seen nothing, because now she is a bundle of nerves. She doesn't so much as walk up next to Emmanuel, as she stumbles up next to him. And as she does, she pauses and goes to look as if to say, like, wait, where are we? Almost as if she's gaining recognition of her surroundings. And for a moment, you see Emmanuel look down at the 3 of you, the beast that is jutting around Marissa. He turns, smiles, and shoves her on the back as hard as he can.
The hubby does?
Yes. She tumbles forward, falls an entire floor.
Oh, no. Do I have time to leap at her to see if I can catch her?
You do. And she's falling from fairly high.
I don't care. I'm going to try anyway.
Roll me back under pressure. This thing is tension dropped from Kaiba, or is split from Kaiba, to also the now falling Marissa. Alrighty.
Can I assume hubby's possessed?
Hard to tell from this distance. If realistically Kaiba, you can see better. If Carson or Kaiba would like to parse this out while you're dropping her up and then diving for Marissa.
Can I do that?
Sure.
Real quick. How badly is this going to end with a 7?
So a mixed
Not
success
terrible.
is still a success. You're going to catch her, guaranteed. Something bad will happen, though. But remember, a success is...
Okay, then let me be clear. Should I use luck for this if I want her to be okay?
I'll put it this way. The outcome for this one will be the creature is focused on both Kaiba and her. You will catch her, Margot. If you did not catch her, her legs would break. This would be awful. This fall is way too far. She's not going to catch herself. You can very much tell.
Just
I
her
don't
legs would have
think-
I
I don't think the situation is bad enough that you need to burn the luck for this. But
All right, just checking. I'm pretty sure the floors are higher than that, but all right.
They are. But for this instance, a fall wouldn't instantly kill her. She'd break enough of her body that she can't move, and she'd be prey for this thing. If you catch her, though, Margot, nothing will be broken. She'll be fine, but the beast is directly next to you, and its focus will instantly turn to her. That will be a mixed success. A full success, I'll let you know, will allow you to both grab her and move away from this thing. Your choice.
I think we might be able to deal with the thing before she comes to any harm anyway.
Well, you guys can all see her about to fall too, right?
Yes, but my hand is currently inside of the thing.
All right, well, I mean, I'm going to have to drop my sword to catch her without... Theoretically, I also could have used magic for that.
Oh, push yourself, yeah.
Yeah, because it makes me stronger.
Well, regardless, it's still +2, so same outcome.
No, I will say it as is.
Okay, so
I mean, I can use magic and cast Featherfall.
all right, so we'll keep it as is as she falls. You are indeed able to catch her, just barely, Margo. You very much have to relinquish your weapon for a moment, but as you pause to catch her, the look of betrayal and shock on her face is awful. And you can feel this thing breathing right over your shoulder, Margo, 1 to 2 feet away from you. It's hot, wet, and very hungry. Kaiba and Carson, if one of you wants to gander up and either wants to help, you're more than welcome to do so.
I'll try helping. Please let me help. I have nothing. I'm bad at everything.
Yeah, sure. You can go ahead and roll.
Are you bad at looking?
Carson's very good at that, actually.
Sure, I'll
Good at
investigate the
what?
mystery then. See if this guy is actually this guy.
Sure. So Kaiba, you can roll investigate, and then Carson, you can roll to help. So Kaiba, roll first. Hey, you don't need to help. Carson, perfect. All right, hold your help in case it doesn't work.
Damn. Okay.
It's all good. All right. What was the exact question, Kaiba? What are you trying to see in Emmanuel's body?
I guess whether it is actually Emmanuel, like, or is it also one of these like fear things?
So from a distance, it is definitely difficult to tell. If you're wondering if it's a manifestation of this fear of the tape, I can answer with 100% certainty, no. This is definitely a person. This is definitely a body. It's not a duplicate. Is he possessed, though? Unfortunately, you cannot tell. He sees you see him, Kaiba, and he frowns a little as his eyes flit over to Margo. He says, "Nice catch, Margo. Say hello to Maverick for me, will you?" And he holds up in his hand the case that was holding the red reel. He turns in his heel and begins to walk away.
What?
How does he know Maverick, though? I don't think that's him.
I'm inclined to say it's not, but if it is, that's a serious problem.
I mean, he was playing the very, very long...
Very long con,
Landa.
yes. All right, well...
Your kid as part of your long con.
He is getting away, so there's nothing we can do about that.
I can't. Just get rid of this thing.
By the way, right after I catch her, I'm gonna do that soothing thing where calm down, you're fine, calm down, and ignore that thing behind me.
Maybe Carson should do that.
Should do what?
The soothing thing.
I'll try it.
I'm doing it because I literally just caught her.
Yes, and Carson has this weird ability that makes him, soothe
Charming.
people.
Look, if Carson wants to quickly run over, I'll hand her over.
Carson's free. Yeah, Carson's free. You can assist. So Carson, you're saying you wanted to do something. If you want to help calm Marissa, she is like mentally losing her shit right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Do I hit help out or do I do something else?
So you can roll me convince, but I do believe you also had a special something. Trust me, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can roll.
You
can roll trust me, and then Margo, if it doesn't turn out well, you can help out. All right, Margo, help out. Make this a full success.
Please.
Oh, don't change anything.
No, please. Please. I'm begging.
I mean, what happens on a partial success?
Excellent. Alrighty. On a partial success for help out, she probably just stays panicked. So this will bring you up to an 11, Carson. So that is a full success.
Perfect. You know what that means,
Yes.
Maestro? They do what I ask.
Hell
no
yeah.
questions asked.
Alrighty. So while she does seem incredibly panicked, you run a bar. You're used to people either not being themselves, generally
We're
speaking,
going through something rough.
Going through something rough. You got the right words for the right moment, Carson. And you share them with Marissa now. Margo, you are able to, turn her, and you're also like, hey, I got you. You're safe, you're fine, you're right. And as she's looking past you, Margo, you think she's going to lose it again. You're not sure if she can see this thing or what precisely. But Carson, your words reach her, and her breathing, her heaving chest slows. And her glassy eyes focus on the two of you, as if she wasn't even here until now. Looking at you, Carson, she puts her hand on the floor as if to push herself up. And, well, she can't see it. But this thing, whenever she moves, is kind of adjusting with her vision. But it still very much means harm to one of you. And you know it's fast. It's going to leap at one of you any second now. I guess fortunately with her moving her head, it's repositioning.
Yeah, Marissa still has the charm, right?
Very much so, yes.
Yeah, okay. No problem then.
So she looks to you, Carson, offers a smile, and you can tell that for now, she's fine.
Good. I stay there.
Alrighty, Margot, Kaiba.
Well, I'm immediately going to lunge for my sword and try to attack. Now that I have successfully passed the maiden off.
And I'll help out by, I don't know, pinning it down,
A little big for that.
turning it on
but-
its belly,
Oh, it's way too big for that.
shooting it with my magnum in its face.
That works, yeah. All right, Margot, this is definitely very risky. You got to dive for your weapon, but fortunately, Carson was able to calm her enough that you are free.
That's fine. It needs to die.
You may indeed do this thing, Margot. Please roll me, kick some ass.
And I'm not sure a help out is going to help in this case.
It'll bring it to a 9, so it won't fully help. But if there's something you want to do to narratively assist Margot, Kaiba, you very much can. That'll be an act under pressure roll. Or you can just be ready for any assistance she might need.
I guess an act under pressure makes more sense then, yeah.
Okay, what would you like to do to help? It's not going to affect her roll, but it could affect narratively something.
The site that it was hit before, right? Would you say it is a bigger weak spot at this point?
Potentially more exposed, but it's also more angry. We'll say this. You've already brought your bombs with you. You probably have one that can help expose it further to Margot's machinations. If you want to go that route. I want to try to turn its wounded side towards Margot, I guess. Sure, perfect. So we'll have you roll first, and that will set up Margot's action. So roll me act under pressure with one of these wonderful multitude of bombs that we have on us.
I fail. That's too bad.
Excellent. Have some experience. Jesus, you're going to level from this one session alone. Holy shit.
I need 2 more.
Yeah, for real.
Did we get experience from these?
Only 2?
You need one more.
That's easy.
Yeah, you're currently a 9. You need one more.
Oh, only one more? Done. You're good.
But you're getting ready to huck one of these other bombs, and unfortunately, it's going to actually soar past this thing and completely miss. All it's going to do is draw its attention from Margot instead to Kaiba. So you see Margot as you dive for your weapon. He did make it easier for you to get your weapon. It's not going for you now. It's 100% full on going for your boy. And let's see. I will let you
just hit me. It's fine.
This is weird. Roll kick some ass, but the damage is going to be at Kaiba instead of at you. So you're hitting it, but it's hitting him rather than you. That makes any sense.
I got a 10.
All right, that is a full success. Excellent.
Oh, so, like that. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, so from those off...
For a second there, I thought you were saying Margot is going to attack me.
No.
No.
Please don't. All right, so...
The retaliation damage, yeah, okay.
It does have armor, as established, so you're only going to do 2 harm. If you want to do more at a 10 plus, you have the option to do so.
What do you mean I have the option to do more?
At a 10 plus, you can do +1 harm, which brings you from 3 minus 1 to 4 minus 1, meaning you could also roll your finish him.
Oh,
Or you can reroute it or, make it do less damage to Kaiba. Your choice.
I'm fine.
Okay. Is it looking like it's hurting?
Oh, 100%. That last hit took a huge chunk out of this thing. It is desperate now. This is pure desperation.
In that case, I want to hurt it.
All right, so we'll bring that 3 harm to 4 harm.
Which means that I can now do finish him.
Do it.
Will you finish him, though?
Yes, hey! All right, how much damage is that?
I now double the harm I cause, so 6.
Now you do your 3, plus 3 doubled, plus 1, 7, minus 1 from the armor, 6. Guess what? You don't have that much health. So, yeah, you jump in, Margot, and you're not stopping any of the damage. So unfortunately, it is going to get at Kaiba, but you are going to finish this thing off. So what is going to happen? Marissa begins to kick away. You see for a moment that it might be focused on her, but Kaiba, fortunately, because you decided to put this mask on, for now, you're the focus of the spite. You get the feeling as if it might be wearing off, but not going to matter because we got Margot here. It dives before you, and Margot, you strike it along its flank with your weapon. It ignores you, though, and continues as your blade jumps off of each of its quills. You hear this screaming get louder and louder, and the mouth, all the teeth and such that are around this room, throw in more smoke that you very quickly catch on to now. It smells like smoking smoke, like from tobacco. Except there's a sickening underfurl to it that's just incredibly unpleasant. Before it can take hold of your lungs, though, and completely fill this room, which is dangerously close to doing, you pivot on your back foot, Margot, and you run forward, trying to keep pace with this thing. One of the pillars is nearby, so you're able to jump towards it, and you launch off the pillar, hoping to use the momentum of this weapon to stop this thing. Unfortunately, it does indeed catch up with Kaiba in this instance. Kaiba, you will take 3 harm from this, as its maw extends far further than any beast you've seen in the past, and it will grab onto you. When I say grab onto you, its upper jaw strikes your left shoulder. Its lower jaw strikes your right hip. This thing could probably take you in a single gulp, but you're able to sort of position yourself to stop it a bit as you feel all of its teeth dig and gnash into you. It begins to pull back ever so slightly, and you feel the teeth push deeper and deeper into your flesh, smacking up against the bone. You don't pass out just yet, but the pain is almost unbearable as Margot comes soaring down from her pillar, blade extended downward, striking this thing between its 4 eyes and reeling her sword backwards. If this thing had a brain or a skull or some sort of central "this is what I am," she struck it as she pulls back further and further, splitting this thing the opposite direction as you slowly feel its death rattle, Kaiba. It tries to bite in deeper and deeper, but you're positioned in such a way that fortunately Margaret dispatched it just the right time, and it will not be receiving a meal tonight. It shudders, and you begin to feel it fade. Margaret, you're standing on its back. Some of its quills are brushing up against you. Fortunately, you landed in an appropriate way that it didn't burrow its way into your skin, but you don't need to jump off it. It's seemingly sinking into the floor, along with all the smoke and the arms, the teeth. Everything feels as if it's fading all at once.
Excellent. I'm going to stab it a couple more times.
You stab its body as it's phasing out, easily able to slice through whatever remains of it. And you hear the voice fading, echoing down the halls, growing further and further and further.
Unfortunately, we have no way of knowing if this solved the issue, do we?
I mean, I still have the
red tape's now gone.
magic detection device that we use to establish if it's still there.
Oh, good
I don't
point.
think we technically need the reel itself for that. We can just check if Marissa still has like a residue, I guess.
All right, well, I will go see if Kaiba's all right. How are you, Kaiba?
Currently underneath this big pile of meat. Is it also dissipating, or what's the deal with this?
It took longer than everything else to dissipate, but yes, it is seemingly just not there anymore. Gone.
Nice. I mean, I would definitely try to see if I can get some samples, I guess. Scoop some in a jar.
Something remains. It's definitely a meat-like jelly substance. You're not sure what it is, but it does not fade along with the rest of it.
And then I continue groaning on the floor.
I don't have any first aid skills.
That's fine. I have plenty in my house.
Now I'll check Carson and Marissa and put my gun and sword away.
She has her back against one of these central pillars and is slowly standing from a seated position, looking around and just mouth agape, not saying anything.
Hey, you survived. I told you.
What?
Time to go home. Let's go.
She nods along with that as if to say, okay.
Wait. No, I'll whisper to Carson to can you check the fan and see if Guy McDude is there? Emmanuel?
Yes.
He might have been knocked out. I'm not sure if that was him.
I mean, I'll go look.
All right, while they're picking all their stuff up, Margot and Kaiba, Kaiba, you pick up your left arm. I'm kidding. Carson, you head over to the
Left arm? I need that.
damn it. the vehicle, and upon looking through the windows, sliding open the side door, it's empty. Besides all your stuff, of course. All your stuff is there.
Empty.
No one's there.
I have a bad feeling. But all right. I guess I let them know.
Well, for now, just, I don't know, I guess I'll check out if she is still affected, I guess, by the red wheel. As we drive either to her home or my haven, I don't know.
Should we do that at her house? Because it was also connected to her house?
Sure, I guess.
You all jump on in. And first and foremost, something that definitely needs to be taken care of at the top is Kaiba and his general bloodied state. So Margot...
Oh, I see he's at 6 of 7, so should we take him to the hospital first, the I.C.S. hospital?
Indeed.
I can also do it at my haven, so...
You're 6 to 7. I think the hospital's better.
You have the infirmary, right?
I have an infirmary, yeah.
Yeah, so if he has that, then going to his haven should allow you to take care of his I'm dying state. It'll take a heartbeat. Someone will need to assist him, of course. But if one of you wants to question Marissa and kind of watch her, you can definitely do
that. Yeah, we probably shouldn't leave her alone quite yet.
Yeah, I mean, you can bring her up to my haven. We can check her out there. We are going to take the back room, however, because I'm not walking through the middle of the shop like this.
That's fine.
And it takes you guys not too long to get there. You have, fortunately, basic first aid gear inside the Kaiba mobile, the Margot mobile, one of the two. And we can get there in a fairly decent amount of time. It's late. We head in through the back. And as you're heading up these stairs, Kaiba, you realize fairly quickly that you're bleeding a lot more than you were expecting. Your clothes are entirely soaked through. You've definitely left a mess in the van and a trail just leading away from it. We'll, need to check the back of our mind to alert I.C.S. to probably clean whatever the hell happened in that parking garage.
Oh, I would have already done that. And I would have messaged them about Emmanuel being either sus or possessed, not sure which yet.
Excellent. With all that taken care of, we move on into the Haven. And essentially with the Knights of Assistance and such, Kaiba laying out, we got all the drugs and everything that we need to get him relaxed. You specifically, Kaiba, will no longer be in the dying state, so you can reduce your harm to 5. This will effectively signify the entire night. Margot, though, you're unstable, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, technically, you would both...
I'm also unstable.
Yes, so
because
Kaiba...
I went over.
Yeah, so you're no longer unstable, Kaiba. This will help you, your haven, that is. Margot, though, you're still unstable until someone really sees to you, so you would both heal 1 and take 1, so just stay at 4 for now.
Okie dokes.
Carson, you got that. You got through that without losing any body parts or blood. Congratulations.
I'm feeling pretty good about it, honestly. I'm having a spiritual experience. I'm deeply grateful.
On the ride up to the Haven, Marissa doesn't say...
Want to share the load?
Marissa says nothing. She's both resting and kind of in a state of shock the entire time. When you guys do arrive and begin helping Kaiba, whichever one of you is, she's sitting just sort of waiting, assuming this is normal procedure. But you can tell she wants to say something, but isn't sure where to start as you guys are helping Kaiba.
She said she doesn't know where to start?
Yes.
Start at the beginning.
When I'm done helping Kaiba, I will go over and...
if her husband betrayed her, but...
Oh, probably. When I'm done helping Kaiba, I will go over and shyly offer her a hug.
You do, and initially she does not return it, but after a moment, she kind of snaps back, and she hugs you, and you can feel as if she's going to let go for a moment, Margot, as if to say, like, thanks for the hug, but as you're pulling away, she grips onto your jacket and pulls you closer, and she buries her face in the side of your jacket, and she just whispers, "Can I just sit here for a moment?"
Yeah, that's fine.
And with her face buried in your jacket, you can hear her softly weeping to herself. And this goes on.
Oh, husband, you're making me cry.
This goes on for about a minute or so. And she lets go, wipes her nose and her eyes, and she smiles at you, Margot, and gives you a nod as if to say thank you.
I'll nod back. And then, okay.
Have you figured out if she's still affected by the red reel anyway?
We'll have you do that once you're patched up, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if there's something I can do from inside my haven for that.
While you're here, you have all your bits and bobs, fortunately. So after we all get a chance to calm down, of course, we can, ask her, hey, do you mind if we just to be safe, do a few things? And she doesn't mind, of course. And as you kind of go through your list of, this might work, this should work, this should work, you get a sense of some sort of aberration or something is floating over her, but it's not as perilous as it was before. It's almost as if it's either been like a stay of execution, or it's been severed and is now fading. We're getting multiple, I guess, answers and results from this test, though. So it's very difficult to say, but you can tell, at least for quite some time, she should be safe.
But we'll have to check up on her every now and then.
Yeah, it's best if she keeps the charm, I guess, on her. She starts having weird dreams again, contact us.
She'll nod and grip it tightly, looking down at it, and just looking at your group as you guys are, doing all these tests.
Do I still have the mask on, by the way?
Oh no, that it basically peeled itself off your face after a while. It definitely took some skin with it, and you're a little red. but you're mostly fine. And as you guys are running some tests, she just asks you all, so what was that exactly? What did you get it? Is it gone?
It's definitely not here anymore.
99% sure it's gone.
There's still some residue, but we can't tell if it's lingering attachments.
Yeah, that's why we want you to keep in touch with that.
She nods, and she's very clearly still thinking to herself.
Also, I think it's time for the tough question now.
You can tell she's wanting to ask, but can't put it into words.
Has your husband ever done anything like that, or made you feel that he might?
I've been thinking this entire time if that was even him, or a duplicate, a fake, part of the nightmare, but I can't place it. It feels like him. It felt like him the entire time we were speaking. While we were walking around and he was leading me up and away from the smoke. I don't recall anything in our past. He's always been so lovely. Are you saying that might not have been him?
It's a possibility, but you said you didn't notice anything different.
No, he seemed exactly the same, as always. I mean, of course, we were all panicked in the moment, but...
I mean, in my experience, possessions, there's usually a hint, right?
Yes.
Especially for people who love them.
And she nods along, just kind of thinking, and says, I don't call him acting out or different. The only, I guess, difference I saw today was him being more adamant about getting this taken care of, and I don't know. He still seemed like himself, though.
All right, then can you tell us how you met?
Not expecting this question, she gives you a look as if to say, oh, what? Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Going on the assumption that he's always been this way, it's important.
And she nods along as if to say, that does make sense, that does make sense. And she very quickly recounts a story. I think I mentioned she works at in a greenhouse, effectively. She was delivering flowers to a business. He was the one that accepted them that day, and he was a little extra chatty. And then she delivered some again and again, and then eventually he asked her out after they spent far too much time chatting at the front desk. And then things just kind of ended up how they are now.
That's pretty normal.
Yeah.
She nods as if to say, yeah, we literally just met, and then, things played out.
All right, this is also probably a weird question, but related to the same thing, can you give us that address?
Which address?
The one you delivered flowers to, where you met him at.
Oh, where he works?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. He primarily works from home now, but yeah, I can. And as she's thinking, she jots it down real quick, and it's just the address to an investment firm.
And that's where she delivered the flowers to?
Yes.
Interesting. All right. It could be a dead end, but if we're trying to figure out if he's possessed or not, it's a lead.
Is there a way for me to scry on him, effectively?
Meaning, like, watch him or see where he went, or...
I'm not sure what the most useful would be. I could either try to, track his body, like his real body.
The effect will definitely be probably less than you're assuming, but if we have something personal from him, hair, blood, skin, the usual, and we're able to set up a ritual, we should be able to get some information from this.
Sure, I mean, I can ask if she's up for that. It might not work, but we have enough people here to do something. And we have some time to go.
Yeah, I mean, after she's gonna want to get some rest. Probably, no offense to you, but she doesn't really want to sleep here. If you guys could swing back by her place and drop her off, then that would help. And she'll probably try finding something for you.
I mean, yeah, she probably wants to see her kid.
Imagine calling down a kid doesn't exist anymore.
That would be horrible.
Yes.
Besides that, we can definitely get taken care of. It'll be the next day, so we'll get some rest. Just like chilling for a moment. We all pack right back up, hop into the vehicle, throw down some blankets and such, and we begin basically to drive back to their home. And as they do, basically you guys will drop her off. She definitely needs some rest, so she'll say peace to you guys for about 8 hours or so. She'll get some rest.
Have someone watch over the house during the night.
Yeah. You guys can either call an agent to just sit there outside, or you guys can do it yourself. It's just boring watch work, so nothing major. And if you guys want to do something in the meantime while she's sleeping, you're more than welcome to.
I mean, I'm 4'7". I should probably get myself checked in somewhere, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Also,
you can also do it at my infirmary, because that's what it's for.
You can,
That's true. I'm also going to text Maverick. Do you know anyone named Emmanuel Dane?
Not expecting this. You just gotta get a response of probably related to work. So Emmanuel Dane's not off the top of my head, but let me look into it. Why?
He wants me to tell you he says hello.
Weird. I'll look into it faster.
Smiley face.
Confused face and then like sweating emoji like, oh no. While you check your phone though, Margot, you realize that you have a message that you're sitting on.
Oh my, I'll look at it.
It is from the infamous, the legend, CD's Nuts.
Oh,
okay.
God. That's such a good... I mean, is it good? No, but that's such a good title. It's like incredibly cringy, and yet I'm inspired by the ingenuity.
Just the right amount of cringe.
Yeah.
Basically, he says, hey, I don't know why, but I keep getting this printout. I've like disconnected my printers, reconnected them. It just keeps going over and over and over. And for some reason, it is signed under you. Are you sending me this? And he sends you a picture of like one of his printers just spit out all these sheets. It's a pile of paper with all this just printing on it. And
oh my God.
Has a zoomed in photo where it just says Margot.
Wow, he's very useful. Okay, hang on. What's the zoomed in photo say?
It shows all these papers, and then the zoomed in one, he's showing you proof that your name is on it. It says Margot.
Oh, does the zoomed in show what else is on the printouts?
Yeah, you just see an absolute spattering of text.
This doesn't look familiar, does it?
No. It is very confusing to look at.
I will say no. We will be by your house tomorrow.
I mean, at least ask him to track it. Has to come from somewhere.
Sure. I'll ask him if he can backtrack its origin.
All right, he responds, yeah, I'll do it again, but I got a dead end last time. Sure, I'll see you tomorrow.
He gets no smiley face.
He gets a frowny face.
No, he gets ignored.
Interesting.
He gets the red notification and that's it.
Excellent.
So wait, he was getting that guy was getting papers with Margot's name on it.
His printers are so I have the printout, but here I'll throw it at you. Do not try to solve this. It doesn't mean anything right now. I'll add it to our clues. Basically, he's receiving that printout that I just threw in chat there, plus a bunch of random X's and O's and underlines and slashes and just various ASCII wedged between all this nonsense. Pages of it.
When did we go to that place? Was that the other game? Oh my God.
Which one?
When did we go to that basement with
that was
all
the
last mystery? Okay.
Yeah. The basement with the big machine that was also spitting out random text.
That's why I asked if it looked familiar.
Oh.
Oh,
that makes okay.
I mean, we thought that printer was talking to the creature.
Yeah.
Right.
But
it was also talking to the creature. It was Morse code, so
if it's related to the other machine, you probably would have gotten a text from Jay. Because he's listening in on the thing, basically.
Oh, okay. I forgot he was doing that.
And that is not the case, right?
It did not come from that location, and it will say you probably asked, hey, can this be translated into Morse code? And he says, nah, it's something else. I don't know what the hell it is. We'll say he'll basically spend all this time trying to track it, and like I said, there's basically random ASCII code between all these letters. He's going to try to clean it up, if you will, because it's inconsistent. So it'll be like P-L DAD, and then like a whole line break, and then another line break, and in the middle EMZ. It's completely random. So he's cleaning up all the dead air spaces, and he'll eventually give you the code I threw in chat. There's also a new little clue I added. We have the music notes, the printed code, and then CD Nuts print code that I just added out.
And we're not supposed to solve this, correct?
No, like I said, I will randomly throw things like these at you. There is literally no way to solve this. Don't worry about it.
Okay, perfect.
It's lore. Please don't spend like 15 hours trying to solve this. You literally can't.
But the lore.
If you somehow do, I don't know how you did it. So I'll give you pieces when we have ciphers and codes that can be placed together. I will let you know. Otherwise, do not put this into one of the 1,000 ciphers that exist online. You might get something, but normally they are coded a very specific way.
Perfect.
Actually, we could ask Marissa if she ever heard Emmanuel hum that weird tune that we keep finding everywhere.
You definitely could. So we'll say for this day, at least a portion of it, we head back to Kaiba's Haven, like you said. We get Margot situated. So Margot, go ahead and no longer mark yourself as unstable. Both Margot and Kaiba, you can reduce your harm by 1. Carson, you're doing great. Good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm working hard out here. Just trying to stay alive.
All right. Just siphon your harm to Carson when he's not looking.
I go to sleep and I wake up with like a broken arm.
Just stab him.
All right. While this will not take all day, it'll take a portion of the day. Carson, while Margot is getting treated in Kaiba's Haven, are you doing anything in particular?
Am I doing anything in particular?
Yep.
No. I'm probably just looking at that freaky little printout. Unless there's anything I can do.
I don't know. Have your boys look for Emmanuel? Look into him?
Yeah, I could do that.
Definitely. Have we asked I.C.S. about the name yet or no?
I mean, you probably would have reported to them what happened, right? Or at least Marco would have.
By this point, you guys have had a day, so that makes sense.
Let's get them up to date and, I don't know, keep a lookout for Emmanuel. He might have been possessed, he might have been playing the long con, who knows? Find out. Help us.
Okay. You supplied them with the names, we supplied Maverick with the names. We'll say Maverick will help with that. He's on a case right now, but between things.
Stole the real, by the way.
That gets a very neutral response for now, but you can explain later. Like, okay. The primary response is, was it handled, though?
Looks like it. Can't be sure without the real.
Yeah.
Acceptable for now. We'll figure it out later.
Did the results come back negative?
For
the thing still lingering on her?
Currently negative, yes. More negative than we've ever seen. It's very difficult to track anything like this with perfect accuracy, I'll say. But as accurately as we can test, she will be fine for, the foreseeable future. If for any reason she doesn't think she will be, she has your guys' contact information, and technically we can lock her away in I.C.S. to protect her from this for some time, if we absolutely need to.
I mean, she says she teaches me makeup too, so I'll probably go over there every now and then.
Yeah. So by this point, it's definitely been a day. She's gotten her rest. And if you guys want to swing back by her domicile, you're more than welcome to do so.
Yeah.
All right. And when you will do, do you guys have any specific questions? I know you had some that we were thinking about.
Actually, I guess now we're going to want to invade his personal space, aren't we?
I guess you or Margot checked up on the location as well, right? That she gave you.
I would have sent it to I.C.S. to start tracking.
For which location?
Where they met, basically.
Yeah, where they met. I would have asked them to look into a history of Emmanuel.
Sure. I can answer that very quickly. No roles required. Yes, and Emmanuel Danes very much worked there. He was actually one of their best workers. He was sort of landed somewhere near middle management, and he is very much one of those in the office, at the home type individuals, half and half. They trust him enough to handle some of their bigger cases. So
he's proficient at his job. What about where he came from before then?
Before then, he worked for a personal agency.
So small?
Yes.
What about his schooling?
Schooling all seems to track.
Including his young childhood life?
In terms of that, they're going to have to look into it a little bit more. It's not a dead end, but there's not as much information, and or it's a little, what's the word? I'll say shrouded, but not like, shrouded in mystery, as in it's intentionally left blank in certain locations due to not like security as in like government, but safety security, if that makes any sense.
So basically protect the children kind of thing?
Sort of, yeah.
Okay, so his overall history, is it too clean, or is it just the random amount of normalcy?
It's definitely straddling the line of being a little too clean, especially with how good his work record is and everything.
And nothing sticks out as potentially needed to follow up?
Not this very second, but were we to have I.C.S. look into his past, they very quickly hit a wall. They let you know, Margot, the file is marked a very particular way. We'll get back to you. This could take a second.
Okay.
Specifically his childhood. We want to double check, reaffirm we're seeing what we're seeing, and then we'll reconvene when we can.
Okay.
And then speaking with Marissa, what general questions do we have for her?
Honestly, I think I'm kind of done with her.
So that sounds rude. I mean,
No,
she can't really tell us much else, though,
yeah,
right?
I mean, as far as questions go.
All right, that works perfectly fine. If we have nothing else to ask her, she'll keep you guys in on the loop.
I do want to stress that if Emmanuel reaches out to her, please call me.
Yes, that'll be at the top of her list. Will be to.
I don't care how much he sweet talks you. Please call me just to be safe. He did shove you off a floor.
Windows, doors, everything's locked. Don't worry. In fact, she's actually going to be when she gets a hold of Jack, which is proving somewhat annoyingly difficult. She's called the house a couple times and no response.
Whoa. She can't reach Jack? I will go visit their house to make sure he's fine.
Sure, she actually gives you the address to make sure everything's all right.
In fact, I figured she'd probably want to talk to him ASAP.
She tried. They didn't answer for whatever reason. Or they did, but, the kids are sleeping. Sorry.
Well, yes. We're definitely going over there to make sure he's fine.
Alrighty, as she gives you the address. They're not too far away, fortunately. So after you finish chit-chatting with her, you'll swing by this new address. Same-ish neighborhood, so not too far away. You'll knock on the door. And a few moments later, the door cracks a bit. Is all three of you at the door, or just like one of you?
I would have gone with.
Yeah, it's probably all three. Would parents give up a child to people they don't know? I actually feel like Marissa probably should have come. I mean, she doesn't want to leave her son at this house, does she?
For an extra day, possibly, so she can relax. But if you wanted her to come with, she could have. Up to you.
I mean, it would be weird if she wasn't there.
Yeah, I think she needs to come. If she wants to relax, we can take the kid for a day. I can introduce him to BFF.
Perfect. Then yes, she'll go ahead and come along with you guys. She'll be leading the charge as opposed to three strangers. So rather than, creaking the door like, who are you all? They'll swing it open a little slower because why are there four people? Strange. But they'll greet Marissa. She'll say hi. They kind of start chit-chatting real quick. Right into it as if they dropped a conversation a week ago and immediately start picking it back up. She motions to you guys saying that you're a group of friends and we're just here to pick up Jack. And the other individual, the adult, kind of nods along and says, oh, okay, sure. He actually just left. Not like you guys missed him a few hours ago. I know you called yesterday, but the kids were sleeping. They stayed up far too late. But his father just picked him up not too long ago.
Immediately step away to text I.C.S. I need some traffic cams.
Yeah.
And I need them now.
Okay, they are getting lots of requests from you guys. Like, what the hell just happened?
Kidnapped child.
Noted.
Kidnapped child by a potentially dangerous man.
Amber alert.
Double noted.
Men ?
Yes.
All right, they will take the question mark with haste and be sure to jump right into that. Marissa pauses for a moment. You three see panic on her, but she quickly straightens herself and she, yep, of course. Right. I'm just double checking to make sure he got here in time.
Did he say where he was going? Because he didn't go back home.
Marissa turns to the three of you and gives you a look as if to say, let's just drop it and go. I don't want to worry her.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
When you do ask that, though, they essentially just answer, oh, yeah, they probably, going for a snack or, an early lunch or something and then headed back home. I'm sure he'll be there.
Lunch, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, with a very tight smile, Marissa's like, yes, of course. And she turns, and upon the door closing, you can see she looks incredibly angry as she is out now walking with your group back to the vehicle.
Angry at who?
Emmanuel, this general situation. Maybe herself a little for not checking earlier.
If I'd thought about it, I would have suggested it. So, yeah.
During the ride back, she remains silent, essentially for the entire duration.
I'm sure I.C.S. can track his phone.
And she looks to all of you before you drop her off back at her home and says, you're all professionals, right?
That's right.
Professional as you can be.
Is this normal?
As normal as it can be.
I wouldn't call it not normal.
No. Don't get me wrong, we deal with monsters, but this is definitely weird.
It's pretty off.
But I wouldn't call it not normal.
Okay, she nods along as if to say, all right, I understand.
I mean, we deal with not normal stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll handle it.
I trust you all. You've not led me astray so far. You're seemingly here to do good. I don't know who you work for, government or whatever. I honestly don't care. But if there's anything I can do to help, if there's anyone or I don't even know what to say. But if you need me, I'll be here.
Like I said earlier, if we need something, I'll reach out. But the primary objective is if Emmanuel contacts you, I don't care if he sweet talks you or if he threatens you or Jack, you need to tell us.
The look
Yeah,
she gives
actually,
you.
Do give me something personal from him.
Oh, of course. After you say that, if he contacts you, let us know. The look she gives you, Margot, is of pure determination, as to say, of course, you don't need to tell me that.
Good. You do not want to handle this alone.
With your request, Kaiba, she excuses herself for a moment, heads on into the house. She gathers up what she can, some hair. There's really not much else. A comb, just maybe like a shirt of his or something, something dirty, and shoves it all in a bag and just kind of hands it to you.
Thank you.
I have no idea how this works, but I wish you the best. Not sure if that helps, but maybe.
Oh,
I do believe in good luck.
She takes a really deep breath and lets it out, nods along as if to say, yep, we're going to need a lot of luck with whatever the hell's going on here.
All right, and just try to stay calm, all right?
Of course. I might not be here in the upcoming days. My family is not too far from here. I might visit them for some time. So you have my number. Just call me if you need me for anything.
All right, sounds good. Just answer your phone when I call.
She smiles. Of course. Thank you. Really. And with that, she turns about and heads back into her home.
This went in a direction I'm not very happy with.
sometimes it do be like that.
You begin receiving information from your questions after this. You guys have the day ahead of you, unless there's something in particular you wanted to look into. You're more welcome to do that, of course. But from Maverick and I.C.S., we get a multitude of answers. One of those answers being the reason why Emmanuel's early age, at least, was kind of clocked off, dark, if you will. And that reason is he used to have a different name. Something happened in his past when he was younger, and they're still looking into this, trying to clear files. They don't have all of it, unfortunately. It comes from a different time. But he was adopted. They do learn, though, that it's not because his parents died. One of them did. His mother passed away in an accident, unfortunately. But the father seemingly was no longer fit to raise Emmanuel. And this was when he used to be known as Emmanuel Cassini.
Cassini.
And fairly quickly, you get a call, actually, upon receiving this information that apparently I.C.S. just got a hold on. For you in particular, Margot. It's Maverick.
I will absolutely answer.
Hey, Margot, how are things going?
I never miss a phone call from my bro. Well, Emmanuel picked up his son and vanished. So pretty good.
Right. All right. From what I've seen, I.C.S. is looking into that, but I call for a different reason. The question you asked me before, if I remember this guy or if I know him.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Unfortunately, well, we all kind of know him. Technically, at least.
Elaborate.
You remember the orphanage we all grew up in?
Yeah.
Apparently. Well, he was taken before we were, but we knew him as kids.
Was there anything odd about our orphanage?
I mean, besides the normal I.C.S. weird shit of, kind of sniping kids from said orphanage and maybe it being run by someone from I.C.S., which, yeah, now that we're a bit older, it's a little weird. To my knowledge, no, and if there's something weird, they ain't gonna tell us. When you say weird, what do you mean exactly?
I mean, that kind of answered the question.
Yeah.
Okay, so we knew this kid.
Apparently, yeah. I mean, this is a long ass time ago, so I don't fully remember him, but
Are you kidding? I don't remember it at all.
I mostly stuffed that part of our life away for good reason. But yeah.
Can you dig into the records, see if there's anything odd about him being there?
You actually hear some shuffling. Oh, I'm actually currently doing that right now. When you say odd, what do you mean precisely?
Maybe if there's anything odd about where he came from or who picked him up.
You mean his dad's still alive, apparently. He just kind of gave up Emmanuel, apparently. I don't know why. The reasoning here is varied. Apparently he was no longer suited for watching Emmanuel, so he kind of just said someone else is better off raising him. He did lose his wife, and obviously Emmanuel, his mother, when he was real young. Date-wise, there's a 3-4 year gap between instances. So she died, and 3 years later, he gave up Emmanuel for whatever reason. And he stayed at this orphanage for quite some time. There was some overlap with us. And then after that, he got picked up by another family that seemed to be fine. Change of last name, Danes, so that all lines up.
All right, can you give me the dad's contact info?
Yeah, we definitely have it here. I'll text it to you. Is that fine?
Yep, that's great.
All right, he's a little off the beaten path. He used to live somewhere near the orphanage, but he definitely moved off somewhere not completely remote, but away from the city. It shouldn't take you more than a day to get there, though, from where we are now.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope. Love you, bro.
Love you too. If I find anything else weird, I'll be sure to send it to you.
Please do.
All right, peace. And he hangs up.
Oh, we'll share the wonderful news.
This is just a very strange development for me.
Yeah, it was still not something I'm expecting.
I'm just completely blank as a person.
Well, we did say we go see CD's nuts today, so I guess we'll do that first.
Yep.
I'll drive.
All right, you swing by the nut.
Swing by the nut.
All right, as one does. I did the cursed hold, control, and scroll and ruined everything again for a moment. I need to stop doing that. All right, we're fine though. Alrighty. Fortunately, heading towards the nut and heading towards this lad's house should be mostly the same direction. So we're not going to lose too much time to that. And as y'all swing by, knock, 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 knock. Moment later, answers the door. And gives you a look as if to say, like, so, oh, you all, yeah. And he points to Margot and says, you've been sending me a bunch of... You're not sending this, right?
No, I already said. I'll shove in my way in.
All right, he moves by a bit.
He's probably used to this by now.
Yeah, he lets you in. He looks as if he's going to stop you at first, then realizes he very much cannot do that. So he does not do that. He lets you in and very aggressively motions to a corner as if to say, this is the Margot corner now! And you can see that, the printers are currently unplugged, but there's a pile of paper just sitting there. He says, they're all the same. They all print the same shit. It's difficult to read. Noah couldn't track it. I know you're going to ask. Tried. It came from too many random locations. I can't determine it precisely. So, I'm mostly given up. But this isn't from you.
It is not. So does it look like I signed it or does it have my name on it?
Printed. So all the bullshit and then like minus Margot.
And it's definitely like a signature, not like to Margot.
It might be to Margot. It's just your name.
Are all the pages the same, or is it like different random text on each?
Actually, yeah. Is it like 3 pages of one message or just one repeated?
As you're looking through it, it looks as if it's completely random. And while you're doing this action, going through the pages, he hands you one that he printed out saying, it looks like random bullshit, but there's a code or something hidden in there. It's right here. And the message I pasted in chat, the note I made, he hands you basically that. It's about like 20 or so letters. I think this is it. No idea what it means, though. Mean anything to you?
Not yet. Can I plug back the printer back in to see if it starts doing it again?
You may, and he goes to stop you as if to say, wait, I just got it to stop. And as you're going over to plug it in, you actually hear a clicking before you do so.
From the printer?
Yes.
I'll pause. Does it do anything?
As you pause to look at it, you hear something whir to life, and very aggressively, it begins to spatter out ink. The machine shakes. He's like, what are you doing to it?
I'm looking at it!
Well, you quit looking at it weird. You cursed it or something. What the hell? And as you're kind of fumbling with the cord, it spits out this sheet that, with far too much liquid on it now, splats onto the floor. And you can see it includes the exact same message again with your name. It says like all that bullshit and then -- Margot, 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 just repeated all the way on the side.
Hey, Kaiba, is this thing cursed?
Well, I mean, all printers are a bit cursed.
He nods along to that.
This is definitely new then. Although, I don't think this is the first time this has happened, but...
Looking down at the sheet. Was that a whole cartridge?
So I guess I don't need to plug it in anymore.
Why is there so much ink on the page?
I'm gonna gather up the cords and grab the printer.
He sighs at that. He says, well, hold on. You're taking the printer with you?
I'll buy you a new one.
Is it cursed or what?
No idea, but assuming whatever's doing this is connected to this printer, we'll find out.
It was all of them, though. They were all doing it.
Oh, they were all doing. Wait, how many printers do you have?
I have as many as I need. You don't need to worry about it. They're connected to different machines, different readouts and such, different types of printing as well. Of course, the ink one decided to shit everywhere.
All right, this goes over my head. All right, I will leave it behind. Is it just the printers, not like, I don't know, your phone or something?
I mean, why is it here is the question.
He whips out his phone, looks at it, and puts it back in his pocket and goes, no, it was just the printers. They went off one day, they stopped. And then you're back and decided to spit another one out. Maybe you're cursed.
I shrug in a way that says, wouldn't surprise me.
It happened after you guys arrived. Not immediately. It's not like Margot walked out and it just began spitting out paper. But yeah, not long after that. It was a few hours. A few printed out and it just wouldn't stop. I finally got it to stop and then you show up and it does it again. So,
All right, well, I will begin gathering up all the papers because we're definitely taking them with us.
Yeah, I don't want to take it, please.
Can I take a handful of random gadgets that I totally have on me and, I don't know, investigate a mystery?
Very much so. What are you looking for?
Specifically, I want to know why here, I guess.
Sure.
Hey, look, I do it. Does anyone want to help me?
Can I?
Sure.
Well, Margot is busy picking up papers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
Okay.
Alrighty.
And was it printing out when they were unplugged or?
No, that's new. He's giving you a look of both like disgust that you wasted so much ink, but also very interested that like what the hell just happened. It printed while unplugged.
To be fair, why the hell did you not take out the paper?
He chooses not to answer this question and turns around.
Yeah.
That thought had also occurred to me.
Shrug. Whatever.
And as he's trying to help Margot pick all the papers up, there's quite a lot, unfortunately. He has an empty paper box, so you guys can shove them all in there. He's helping with that while the two of you, Carson and Kyber, are looking around the room trying to figure out what the hell's going on here exactly. And you get a lot of the interference from some of the few items that he has that actually function. But focusing more on the printers in this general area, there's an air of mystery, almost as if something, curse is the wrong word, but some sort of incantation that is watching and then responding. You can tell it's primarily coming through this digital hardware. What it is exactly and why these printers is unclear, but it's almost as if like this presence, whatever it is fading. And now that Margot...
So it just came by to leave a message?
It very much feels that way. Sort of like the postman were to swing by real quick and you would see his footsteps in the snow, and then hours later, they're still there, but they're faded. It's very similar to that. There was a presence here at some point. That presence spiked for a moment, but the longer you look, Kaiba and Carson, the more that presence seems to fade, as if snow is covering up their tracks.
Why the hell would the presence come here of all places?
I mean, it came through the PC, I guess.
Yeah, but
Weird
why
that it didn't
see
come to my
nuts?
PC then.
I don't have a printer at home, do I? That might also be responding this way?
You haven't been home in a while, so you're not sure. Unfortunately, BFF cannot use a phone.
That
BFF
is
drowning in
true.
paper right now.
Can I have Matt go check?
He's slightly busy, but yeah, he can swing by at some point.
I'll also tell him I'll let him know if I beat him there. And the only thing I can think of that CD's nuts and I am both involved in would be, hey, Nuts, how's that streamer girl you're into?
Hey, he gives you a look as if to say nothing's changed. She doesn't stream anymore, obviously.
You haven't snooped around since we went to visit her?
No, I'm not stalking her or anything. I was interested. Now that I got my signed paraphernalia, I'm not gonna bug her.
All right, just checking.
Listen, I'm happy.
Maybe she has already checked up on her, I guess.
I mean, she's on the list of things to investigate, so yes.
You get very similar feedback from last time, as if Etta might have ignored her first message, as if to say, oops, I didn't see it. And the second time that she most assuredly did see it, she said, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm going to be busy that day with something. And every time she's tried to reschedule, Etta has once again said, I'm busy, sorry.
That, to me, says she just needs to go over. Too many reschedulings is a bad sign, especially for someone who doesn't leave her house or stream.
You have any more questions for the nut?
Like, would it be going too far if I pulled another random gadget out of my ass and get like the magical variant for IP tracking to help him out, like find it or something?
In terms of trying to find it out, I'll let you know without needing a roll. You could spend some time here, and it would definitely be some time, and you wouldn't find anything. It would lead to a dead end. And I would say you could tell that by the track you have here. Whatever it is,
Okay.
either intentionally scrambled its code, if like it's a magical code, or is too far away or too obscure to be reached.
Actually,
But I do know, I guess, the feeling of the magical trail that was left behind. So if there's something else, something similar in my PC or in Margot's house, I'd be able to find it.
Yes, so there's a signature that was left behind, and you can definitely look into said signature. It's distinct, and it's also distinct in the way that it's trying not to be seen. You're not sure if it's attempting to hide itself or that's its natural state, and it's just doing this unknowingly, basically.
I guess we can spend the day going places and seeing if the signal is there as well.
And speaking of trails, I did want Nuts to hand over the trail that he backtracked to see if maybe someone equally tech savvy picked up something he didn't, since, it's weird stuff involved.
Yeah, he'll gladly hand it to you. It came up with literal nothing. He hit a bunch of physical just dead ends. He doesn't know how to search the way you guys do, so it's literally just wall, 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 nothing. To the point where he got very frustrated. So if you want his useless information, please take it.
Yeah, I'll take it and I'll pass it on to whoever was good at it.
That would be Derek. God, I hate that guy.
Derek.
Yeah, the head of IT in I.C.S.
Okay. Well, I'm sure I have his number, so I'll text it to him.
Fucking Derek.
Good old Derek. All right, we sent some shit to him. And as usual, this better be important. I'm way too busy, but I guess I can look at it.
I mean, I wouldn't call this high priority, but, within the week would be great.
Consider it done at some point.
I mean, I also think that everyone at I.C.S. realizes that everything is at least a little time sensitive.
Yeah, also everything is of the utmost importance. So if everything's important, very difficult to point out. No, mine's really important, though. Sure it is.
Working in court must really suck. Then again, they don't have to die.
Oh no, Derek is just dick.
Yeah, it's fine.
He takes 3-hour breaks.
Whoa, okay, I see it. So where are we going to go next?
Do you want to check out Edda first, or do you want to check out your house and my house first?
I guess if I'm warning about my printer, I'll go to my house. Do you want to go to Edda's house, or do you want the girlfriend to just do a surprise visit first?
Honestly, it's probably better if it's someone she knows, yeah, and not us.
So who, the girlfriend?
Yeah.
Then yeah, I would ask you to ask your girlfriend to make a surprise visit.
All right. I'll ask a DM to ask Billy to do that.
Sure, we can do all that at once, basically. So as you go back to check your domicile, you realize, fortunately, and this will basically take the rest of the day, so you guys want to try to visit Emmanuel's father tomorrow then?
Yeah, since it's a little bit out of the way.
Okay.
I have so many things to do right now.
A lot of driving, but I can answer this one quickly. At home, no weird printer, no weird computer, no weird emails. Seems fine. Surface level, everything seems okay. You don't need to dig any deeper. Nothing seems off.
This is odd. Why CD's nuts?
Yep. I asked that same question.
And then regarding...
Answer the question, why CD's nuts?
Why CD's nuts, though? What is up, dog? Regarding all that, and then heading over to Edda, your girlfriend is able to sort of weasel her way in, but Edda really doesn't want to talk to anybody. She barely lets her in. Of like, oh, you caught me at a weird time. And they chat a little. What precisely did you want to find out regarding Edda?
I don't even remember anymore.
I think it was something like, we know there was something in her house, like if Millie can get a better grasp at it because she is a witch.
Yeah, it was by the door, behind the
Is it a
shelves.
curse, or is it a ghost, or what is it? Something like that.
So Millie isn't there for long, but she's able to determine a few things. In fact, she leaves early due to her own preferences, not because Edda kicked her out. And she reports back to you two things, Kaiba. First and foremost, that whole place has bad juju. Doesn't feel good at all. Eda's room in particular definitely felt stronger in terms of this feels like garbage. Like she felt like she was going to be sick the whole time. She didn't want to look any further than that because it would have been maybe a little too on the nose. Having her say, hey, let me walk around your house, just puke on your carpet. That's not going to work. So she felt incredibly uneasy the entire time. Just approaching the apartment felt off to the point where she might go back, but you're going to have to either make it up to her or something because she really does not want to.
So it was major bad juju?
Apparently the entire building is weird. So
Yeah, she ain't digging it.
Well, hang on. Is
something
it
weird already kind of established, but
is it the entire building, or is it so strong in her room that it's leaking out into the rest of the building?
Both, she cannot determine the source. Walking up, driving up, she got a strange, sense of unease.
To just a straight up building?
Yeah.
Okay, so then there was no way to tell if it was Eda's room or Eda herself.
Or something else, correct. She cannot determine the source, but walking up to Serene Falls, instant bad juju. Leaving, it lingered a bit. Even, she's home now, it still doesn't feel right. But yeah, just a bad combination of there's something off here.
well, we can always ask Graham.
If only.
Yeah, he didn't notice anything.
Yeah, he didn't, but we can use his house to feel out the thing, I guess. We can invade his place.
I wonder what would happen if we got her out of the place. I mean, even if it's the entire building, it still seems to be focused on her.
Yeah, I mean, we did check her old house, and was there a residue? I can't remember.
No. Are you wanting to swing by and talk with Graham first, or the other thing first?
I mean, Graham can probably wait. Send a message that we're gonna steal his house for a bit and, I don't know, feel out the building.
But we didn't notice anything the first time, so it's either gotten stronger or we're not sensitive enough.
The first time we weren't specifically looking for anything.
That
now
is
apparently
true.
There definitely is something.
Ooh,
But maybe it's a case that now suddenly there is something weird about it.
we could talk to the other residents too. There's at least a few there.
Yeah, I mean, we already talked to a few of them.
We didn't talk to that big guy upstairs.
True.
I think that can wait, though. We need to find Jack. Have they gotten back on the security cam?
Regarding that, they are definitely
phone tracking.
Yeah, so they're definitely trying their best. In terms of phone, both phones have gone dark, as in they are disconnected, no longer in use. And for traffic cams, answer-wise, nothing positive. They were able to possibly track him a few times. Fortunately, the location that you guys came from was abandoned. Therefore, people really shouldn't be driving away from there. An unmarked vehicle did indeed leave, but he switched vehicles 1 or 2 times. And in that time, it seems as if the cameras lost him. He effectively disappeared in the middle of traffic. They're trying to, at least to the best of their ability, figure out what caused this, whether it was a mistake with the program itself, physical camera, if he impacted it. But up until this point, they've effectively lost him, but they're not going to stop looking.
I would also like to put out I guess the rules are you got to wait, 48 hours for official missing kid reports?
Well, we basically know that it was a kidnapping at this point, so we can call it in anytime.
Yeah.
It's also been long enough, fortunately.
Okay, so then let's do an actual official legal missing kid report.
They'll report that. I.C.S. has the ability to pretty easily forge documents if they need to, and they'll see this as relatively serious. The case didn't completely go to shit. You did indeed save Marissa, and with the details you guys supplied, she very much should have died there, so smart thinking there, Kaiba. She definitely could not have taken that blow at all. You guys are trained, so congratulations. They want to make it very clear that you guys, things seem to have gone south, but they could have gotten much worse. Like, the kid isn't dead, Marissa's not dead, their house isn't burned to the ground, anything crazy like that. There were no random casualties, which can happen very frequently if people get in the way. So that did not happen. Good job. Regarding that, though, they're going to lie about when the son went missing to make it seem more drastic and like, hey, we need to get on this ASAP. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's released.
Have we reached the point where we want to risk me using magic to track them?
Ooh, yes. And then we'll go talk to Dad.
Alrighty, for this day, or at least ending it up, it'll take you a good moment. We'll probably do this from your haven, definitely the safest location.
Yeah, probably.
Fortunately, we have Carson and Margot here to assist us.
Let me assist.
thematically, I want it to be a voodoo doll from made from the I don't know, one of the clothing, I guess, from Manuel.
Yeah, I mean, she gave you enough hair and clothes and things of that nature that you should have enough to construct this with relative ease. It'll, of course, take some time. We got to be patient with this. There is a very particular equation to all magic and a understanding that if rushed, shit goes south real quick. So fully understanding that, with everyone's assistance, Margot and Carson setting things up for Kaiba. They're there for anything, whether they need, to disperse something physically or, what have you. But we are all indeed present. It'll take some time to attempt to lock on or find what we're here to find. But, Kaiba, if you wish to lead that role, you are more than welcome to.
Surely this can't go wrong.
Surely.
At least I get a +1 forward for my library.
+1.
Yes, it did it again. I'm not sure why it keeps doing that. Oh, well.
Did you put +1 or did you just put 1?
I put +1. Well, it tells me to put +1.
That's probably why. Because I think you put 1 or
fine,
-1.
I rolled a 6.
That's an advanced success.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I don't have advanced successes, so too bad.
Correct.
It's a 13, yeah.
Yeah, 13. Nailed it. God, looking at that's so awkward.
So don't mark experience. Just
Correct.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Let's say it's impossible to actually roll a 0, so unless you have a -2, which that should only happen if you're
which I
damaged.
do, and I'm pretty sure I have.
Because the most you can have is a -1, unless something bad happens. So
Oh, all right. Yeah, I have -1.
yeah, mathematically -1 is pretty atrocious.
-1 and a -1 going forward if you have something weird.
Exactly. If you get your eyes plucked out, temporarily, of
For
course.
instance.
So, Kaiba, with a full success here, there should be no negative outcomes. This, of course, will take time, which we fortunately have. What precisely are you looking for? The answer will be a little hazy just because of what we're doing and how magic works in this world. But
Yeah, so I want to bank it on the fact that, I made a cute little voodoo doll, specifically like some kind of soul connection, I guess, to the body, so he can feel its direction. And then I'm going to ask him to, point the way.
okay.
Depending on how far he goes and if it actually works, this might take up several days of our time.
I mean, it's magic, so, limited time.
We will say this. You can tell by the magical reaction from the stall. Where you currently are, it feels strong, as if you'll have time. The three of you are able to set up within Kaiba's office. Nothing goes wrong. It feels as if for a moment, maybe things are going to get a little spicy. But we don't need to worry about that. As all the pieces fall into place, we go through our various chantings and such and understandings. You need to see this. You need to slowly work out every single piece one at a time, along with the various drawings that we do either on paper, out of, some sort of material on the ground. You have room for that, fortunately. Incredibly time consuming, but everything is done correctly. Nothing is bumped. No stiff breezes that happen to blow through the room. Where'd that come from? And we have this doll that should point us to where we need to go. And you can tell by the, I guess the aura it's giving off, that Emmanuel is most assuredly far away from where we are now. So when Margot said, it's going to take us some time to get there, but it does indeed point. And if you guys wish, as said, it's only going to last for so long, but it should get us relatively close at least.
Yeah, I think this is one of those time-sensitive things that we need to follow up on ASAP.
Which we do. We all load up, we get to getting, and we move on to attempt to find Emmanuel. And as we go on this relatively long car ride, it takes us about a day or so. So Margot and Kaiba, you guys can reduce your harm by 1. So we rest for the absolute bare minimum that we need to rest for. It seems he is indeed moving. And then we continue to follow. The path we are taking is parallel to the recorded areas that we saw that led to a dead end. So we're on the right path. We know that much. But as we're going forward, the doll seems to be getting more and more tired as we are doing this. Parts of it are burning away, but it's still forward, forward, forward. And eventually, we reach a rest stop. In this rest stop, there's a vehicle that's parked. No one is in it. And there are no other vehicles, no other individuals. There's a bathroom, and there's a little area for a picnic.
All right, well, quickly, where's it pointing now?
It's pointing to the bathrooms. As you're holding it, one of its legs sort of just comes undone. All the string and cloth just unraveling and just falling to dust.
But a quick back. Good job, buddy.
Is this male or female bathroom?
Male bathroom.
I'll look to the guys. You want me to come in?
No, I mean, is it locked? I just open it.
It's open, yeah. It's a...
I mean, this is one of those big ones, right? With
Yep.
multiple stalls?
Yeah, there's no door.
I need
You
to
just
get
walk
the
in.
key from the attendant card.
There actually is no key.
He'll
There's,
only give it
there's-
to you if you buy something.
there's no doors either. There's actually nothing to buy here. This is a... this is a rest station where there is literally nothing except that little picnic area and the bathrooms. That's it.
Oh, well,
Yeah, very open. Probably somewhere you wouldn't stop, if I'm being honest.
Do you have those in Europe?
the what, the rest stations?
Yeah.
I mean, usually they're next to a gas station, but
Like, the really shit ones you don't want to stop at?
yeah, well, they aren't that shit because, Europe is tiny, but
Yeah, okay, well, this is one of those. You probably wouldn't see that.
we generally don't have like those middle of fucking nowhere gas stations because there is no place like that.
There was a gas station on the highway in New Jersey. It was so weird. I was like, what the shit?
Like in the middle, you mean? Or?
So it was the highway, and then like where there'd be like an off ramp, it was just a gas station and a Dunkin' Donuts. I was like, what the hell? And then immediately goes back to the highway. It was so weird. I've never seen that before. I know why it was there.
That's
Oh,
normal
yeah,
here.
I remember that.
I mean, that's normal here. Like,
No,
we
that-
have gas stations literally attached to the highway, nothing else.
I've never seen that because normally if you pull off, it's like a gas station, other roads, homes, other businesses. It was like glued to the side of the highway. It was so incredibly strange.
Yeah, no, we have a ton of those.
It makes sense. I actually wouldn't mind
Yeah,
seeing more of those.
They're like gas stations as well as rest stations for trucks.
Smart.
Yeah.
But all the same, your group indeed moves forward. And whoever runs management on this building most likely needs to be called. It both smells and looks a little foul. An extra whiff of something cut through the air, though. And as you're looking about, all the doors are cracked inward. So none of them are currently taken.
Am I here or am I staying outside?
I mean, if there's nobody inside that we can hear, we could probably call her in. Like, yeah, it's fine.
All right, yeah, I'll go in.
And as you head on in, the smell hits you pretty quick.
Is the extra one like a car we know? Or like, is it Emmanuel's car or?
You've not seen this car
Just a
before
random
now.
car.
Yeah, it seems like to be a random car. And looking about, you can see stall, 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 stall. And they're all cracked except for one. But you do not hear anyone in these stalls.
Knock on it.
I mean, don't even bother, just open it.
All right, I will. Do I need to use inhuman strength to yank it open or no?
No, a good wiggling or a knife or something could pop the lock.
I definitely have a knife. I'll pop the lock.
Okay, with pretty much no issues. Whenever you kind of pop it in there, give it a quick jiggle, and it slides right on open with no issues. As the door slides open, though, you see sitting on the toilet, lid closed, blood, a nice little pool of blood, and in the center of this pool, you see a finger,
A finger.
an adult-sized finger.
An adult-sized finger.
Oh, he's a smart one.
This looks like it was done quickly, as there are some spatters on the wall, but the location of the finger, it seems as if it was meant to be found.
It's not his ring finger, right?
No, it is not.
Well, I probably won't be able to pull that trick again. If he's wise to it.
Yeah, but why not? He only cut off so many body parts.
Yeah, but it's probably altered some way. It's just gonna point there. Normally, it would have pointed to like the strongest source of him against his body, except it went to his finger. That's not normal. Considering
Good
he
point.
apparently went to the same orphanage as the two of you. Well, me as well. I only was there for a week. He might have been trained, or maybe he was just, chosen by someone or something. We'll figure it
Yeah.
out later.
I mean, I did ask Maverick to investigate the orphanage a bit more.
Oh, I've done plenty of that already.
I was half afraid we were going to find a dead kid in this stall, so thank God it's only a finger.
Well, I was actually expecting it was Emmanuel himself, and he took over the kid.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
if possession is a thing, yes, but I'm not I'm not convinced it's possession at this point.
Oh, we'll see. Like maybe
All right,
it's
well.
a similar case to what happened in the abandoned dream study place.
Wait, what?
The guy who had an entity inside him.
Yeah, but his personality completely flipped.
Yeah,
Then again, these experiments have been going on for a long time, haven't they?
exactly.
I don't remember where we left off as far as that part of this went.
For the sleep studies?
Yeah, we were. Was it a dead end, or were we waiting for more info?
Basically, you
Waiting
did
for
hit,
info.
effectively a dead end. And if anything more is found, I.C.S. will let you know. But this phenomena is something that needs to be addressed. Not necessarily by you, but just in general. It's a problem.
If this is connected, then yes.
Mhm. I mean,
I-
surely it can't all be connected. That would be weird.
I mean, with how big the problem appeared, it's not that weird because obviously it's had enough time to get its fingers a little too far. In which case, we need to figure out exactly how far. But yeah,
No, for now we need to, I don't know, figure out which way he would have possibly gone from this arrest spot.
he could have easily
he-
UE'd at one of the
Yeah, I mean, he
cop
left the
turns.
car behind, so
Do we still have people like looking at the security footage?
Yeah, I.C.S. is still actively searching.
Okay.
make them look this area if it has any security cameras. I doubt it, but you know.
Definitely not.
I would like to take the finger and bag it,
Okay.
and then I would like to whistleblow how bad this bathroom looks.
Excellent. There is a phone number that is intentionally somewhat hidden, but you find there's a a plate that's slid in front of it. You can move away and says, "Have a problem? Call this number. We'll solve it."
Perfect. I call that number or text it, whatever.
And they're like, you walk in there and you're like, oh. I think
Rest.
you guys need to clean a little more often. There's
yes.
a
Might
finger
want to
in
have
there.
I.C.S. come over first with like cleaning the blood bottle or something, because you know it's a bit weird.
All right. Yeah. In that case, I'll text them to come and then ask them to let me know when they're done so I can whistleblow.
Excellent. They can very much do that. When you call, initially at least, you hit a dead end. This line is no longer in service. But then you look really closely at the number, and you see that 8 was scratched to look like a 5. So you call the right number.
I would like this owner to lose his job.
You end up calling, and on the other end, the person sounds incredibly surprised that you've even called. Like, someone knows this number? What?
Wait, am I calling the owner?
It's supposed to be the manager, the person that's supposed to oversee this place.
Oh, no. I do not want to call him. I want to whistleblow to a legal, governmental.
A legal authority.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I'm calling about your shithole. It's a shithole.
I'm calling you about your store.
That's funny. He has the number scratched out.
So you're able to report all that to, I don't know who handles bathrooms at at a higher level, but you can contact them.
I mean, it's the. Your dad does the cleaning. I don't know if he's the who gets reported to it exactly, but something similar to that.
Yeah, toilet god, basically. So they're called.
Toilet god.
The toilet god. You do not mess with the toilet god, trust me.
And when you mention the location, you get an instant sigh, and they're like, we'll get on it.
Oh dear.
They're like, they've clearly had to talk about this before with no good result.
If anything, they sound surprised that someone actually went there and it's still up and running, as running as something can be.
We're gonna draw it up every wall we see with like the text for a good time call.
Oh, Lord. A little heart.
Hang on. Do we want to bitch at the owner?
Sounds like you want to.
I kind of do, yeah. You know what? I am going to call that number.
Yeah, I think you should do whatever your heart desires.
Yeah. I mean, just report him, I guess.
I'm having a real bad day. I'm going to call that number. I'll get blocked. Then I'll double check the number and recall it again. How does he answer? DM?
Initially, when you call, the answer is, like I mentioned before, very surprised that you even called in the first place. How did you get this number? To the point where the answer is incredibly casual, as if to say, like, hey, bud. Oh, shit, wrong phone. This is blank services. How can I assist you?
And I'm just going to go off on him about how bad the bathroom looks.
He tries to play it off like it's the wrong number initially.
Nope, I'm just going to screech into his ear for 4 minutes straight, and then I'll hang up.
After your 4 minutes of screeching, he goes to offer you a rebuttal, and you instantly hang up.
Yes.
Excellent. And then the toilet FDA, whatever, they're coming for this guy. Maybe he doesn't know, but they're on the way.
I did not mention that, so yes.
Perfect. Maybe he thinks it was a crank call. Who knows? Regardless, checking your guys' general information as we're kind of on the road searching about, it's borderline impossible to tell where a car would have left from this location. But you realize, upon looking at what we have on us at least, that, hey, lucky, Emmanuel's father lives closer to this location than the town we were just in, closer than I.C.S. It's
Convenient.
Yeah.
Surely that's not a coincidence.
almost along the way.
Quickly check out the car, see if there's anything in there as well. I doubt it, but
Looking through the car quickly, there are
the
some...
abandoned one,
Yeah, the abandoned one. There are some plastic wrappers of, various foods and things like donuts and whatnot that you'd buy on the road, jerky, things of that nature. And it's open. They didn't bother locking the vehicle. The keys are actually still in the ignition, from what you can tell. It looks like it was just abandoned here.
I check for the corpse in the trunk.
You check for the corpse in the trunk, which is fortunately not there.
Oh, there's nothing of interest in there. I guess I'll leave it for I.C.S. to deal with.
Yeah, I'll text I.C.S. to do a quick sweep over it.
Give it back to the owner. Wow, yada. And we go pay a visit to his father, I guess.
All right, as your group saddles up. Fortunately, this will not be a full day's drive, as we're already on the way. But we do indeed reach said location. This individual's name is Alec Cassini. Alec, A-L-E-C. The neighborhood in which he dwells is nowhere near as affluent as the one you all just recently left from. Not horrible by any means, but off the beaten path enough that he could get a relatively decent house for one or two. That it's far enough from civilization that you might necessarily not want to move here unless you're kind of a homebody. Maybe you swing by your local grocery occasionally to pick up food, but there's jack shit to do out here. You find it with relative ease, not a gated community or anything. And as you pull up, you can see a single vehicle is parked in the driveway. And walking up to the door, you see on the door, as if it is a package left to be picked up, a small bucket full of water.
Wait, the package is the bucket of water and a bucket of water?
There's a bucket of water there left like a package, just sitting there on his porch.
Is it clean?
The water?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it came from a hose or something.
Is it like hanging from the handle? Like if you open it up, it falls down, or?
No, it's on his welcome mat.
Huh. Does this mean anything? Can I investigate a mystery for that if I remember anything?
Not from what you can tell. It's a little too random. Like I said, it looks like UPS just dropped off a bucket of water just sitting there.
Can I gently move it off to the side?
Yeah, you can pick it up. It's literally just a bucket of water. Not too
You
heavy.
die.
And there's nothing in it besides water.
Nah, just water. It's it smells a little off. I guess now you're closer to it. It's got a chlorine scent to it, I guess.
Sus.
I don't know. Just knock on the door, I guess.
Yeah, knock on the door.
Maybe he really is one of those weird guys that believes in conspiracy theories and this is something. Though I have a feeling that Kaya would recognize something like that.
As you knock on the door, a moment you're like, and it click, swings open rather quickly. His eyes jump to the three of you, and you see a man that's, getting into his ears, definitely fell into a bottle a couple times. He's clearly not dressed to impress. And he checks your group out a bit, just looking around, scratches at his would-be beard, far too patchy, looks past to your vehicle, says, yeah, what's up? What can I do for you?
Have you seen your son recently?
Jumping straight into it, he goes from very, what are you trying to sell me, to eyes widening. His body slumps a little, shoulders down. And he says, what?
Emmanuel. Have you seen your son Emmanuel lately?
The hell do you know about my son? What do you want?
Well, he's currently on the run.
With his child, kidnapped from the mother.
His
That's
mouth,
right. Your grandson was kidnapped by your son.
His mouth opens and he doesn't answer, as if he's searching for the words.
Can we come in, sir? This might be a conversation best sitting down.
As he's going to ask who you are, his eyes jump down to the bucket and they go wide for a moment as he takes a step back, looks at you and says, who? No, who are you? What? You cops? What's going on here?
I'm trying to think of an I that goes along with child services.
Investigative Child Care Protection Services? I don't know.
Wait, let me think.
It's ICPS. But
Actually, investigator works.
Institute?
Investigative
No.
Child Protective Services.
Oh yeah, if you want to go to institute, you could be Institute of whatever one else had, Child Services or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Institute of Child Care Services,
Child Protective.
but that would be I.C.S.
It's a small p. It's
Oh,
a
if
dash.
Child
So
Protective,
it's
it's one word.
IC
It's one word.
Yeah, it's one word.
parentheses P and
All right.
parentheses S.
Okay, you guys kind of like stumble over this one, and he looks at you like, what? So hold up. Emmanuel kidnapped his own kid, and you're here to talk to me?
Well, he was last spotted moving in this direction, so, logical conclusions and all.
And we're trying to figure out a potential reason for doing so.
He looks down at the floor again. What's with the bucket?
It
know.
was here when we arrived.
Dump it. Throw it in the yard.
I'm sorry, what is it?
It's a bucket of water, obviously. Get out of here. It's not mine.
Can I tell he's lying?
Not lying, but he looks unsteady a bit.
All right, I'll pick it up and splash it in the yard.
Do we know anything about this guy? Like, we checked up, right?
Yes, anything in particular you want to know about him, or...
Like, does he have, like, a fear of water?
No, not from what you can tell.
And actually, before I dump it, can I get a vial of the water?
Yeah, very much so. He seems very interested in you doing just that. And he looks back to you. Kind of eyes are narrowed a bit. And whoever wants to lead this incursion, go ahead and roll me convince.
I mean,
do spontaneously look to Carson.
Yeah, do I use the personally or the microwave?
I'll try convincing them first.
All right.
I mean, you do have trust me.
Should I do trust me or should I do convince?
I mean, it is the easiest way. See? It is the easiest way.
Nailed it. 12.
Nailed it.
Alrighty. You're able to blather off enough technical mumbo jumbo, Carson, that he waves his hands like, all right, shut up. I got you. Whatever. Come on in. And whatever he was watching, some sport, he leans over and turns it down. Not mutes it. Turns it down that he can still hear it. But, listen to y'all. And there's not really anywhere too comfortable to sit. There's like a singular like love seat. So probably two of you can sit on there, except for the fact that he was folding laundry on it from who knows how long ago. He sits in his lazy boy and goes, all right, well, talk. What are your questions?
Well, we can assume that you haven't seen your son lately.
Nope.
What made you give him up?
That doesn't matter. I couldn't watch after him after his mother passed.
Any specific reason why, or?
Was he hard to handle? Was he a little odd?
He's looking at you guys to say, like, the way you're phrasing this is almost like you know something.
Can I make the face that, yes, we do know something.
Okay. He nods along and says, yeah, you could say he was a little odd. Something off about him. But, I don't know. It's just, parenthood isn't for anybody. I feel like I would have ruined him more than, raise him properly. Not fit for fatherhood, I guess. And you guys know that he gave him up at around, I want to say like 8-ish, 7.
So what kind of odd things did he do?
Do you think he's gonna hurt this kid? What's my grandson's name?
Jack. Do we have a picture of him? Didn't someone take a picture?
No, that's weird. I'm not going to take a picture of someone else's kid.
It's a little weird, but technically one of you might have.
Yeah,
I mean,
thought...
maybe for like the search thing, we could have gotten one from.
Oh, yeah, we definitely have one now. Sure, I will go ahead and show that picture.
He looks at Jack, nodding along. There's a small smirk on his face, the only one you've seen so far, and he quickly buries that. Looks at you and says, "So what? Is he gonna hurt him or kill him?"
Emmanuel tried to off his wife and then kidnap the kid. So, what do you think?
He's nodding along when you say this. Not looking at you, he's looking past you guys at the TV, but he's not watching it. And he sighs. Emmanuel was always an odd one. I didn't do anything wrong. He...
Not judging. Some people just come out the wrong way.
He nods at that and says, listen, I can't prove anything. He was a kid. At this point, I'm hoping you're all mistaken. I'm hoping this is some misunderstanding for whatever reason, but I've never gotten a good feeling around Emmanuel ever since he was little. I mean, little. There was something wrong with him. I know kids scream and cry and shit themselves, but it felt, God, that sounds so stupid. It felt malicious. Does that make any sense?
I not.
I don't know if he did something or saw something, but after my wife died, there was it's just a weird air to him, if that makes any sense. Like, I felt like as if I needed to watch him all the time, or he'd do something stupid. He'd hurt himself, or he'd get into something he shouldn't get into. And I understand that's part of parenthood, and I tried getting help, but there was something else, and I can't put my finger on it. After some stuff happened, I just gave him up. I realized I wasn't fit to be a father, and I gave him up for adoption.
Did he grow up in this house?
No, I moved. This is just me. We live somewhere else at one point.
Can I have the address for that, please?
Yeah, sure. And he kind of mumbles to himself a bit, jots it down, and hands you the address. You don't really recognize the area, but it's not really too far from here. Sort of a middle point between where Emmanuel used to live and this current location. And he says, I don't know, the kid was always, there's something in his eyes. Something was always off. When my wife passed, I guess to be blunt, you guys already suspect him of something, so this isn't going to hurt anyone, but they were playing something upstairs. And I don't know what happened. I guess she slipped and fell down, and she died instantly. I didn't even get to say goodbye.
So she fell down the stairs?
Yeah, she fell. I was in the kitchen getting something. Whipped around the corner, and she was just lying there. Gone. Of course, I panic. Why the hell wouldn't I panic? I tried waking her up. I tried shaking her and calling out to bring her back. I couldn't believe it just happened so suddenly out of nowhere. And ever since then, my life, everything just felt off, felt wrong. I had problems sleeping, and maybe it wasn't there before, maybe it was, but I'll never forget it. That look as I gazed up the stairs. The kid looking down at me wasn't my son. He didn't seem, I guess, human. Wasn't crying, or wasn't frowning. He was just watching me hold Jody. No expression on his face. He just sat there. At the time, I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was shock, but I just can't get that look out of my dreams. It just never goes away. And he takes another swig of the beer that was on the table.
Looks like we might need to recommend him to our internal care specialists,
This is horrifying.
aka trauma.
Yeah.
Do we have a mind wipe squad?
I don't know how smart it is to mind wipe trauma that far back.
So I will say there are various sections of I.C.S. You do know Margot, and I guess you guys can think of other questions that you'd like to ask him, if you would like, of course, or anything you'd like to push on. But I could get these numbers wrong. I wrote them down, and I don't feel like finding them right now. But I think I wrote it as such. People that are exposed to various atrocities or the paranormal, the strange, if they do not end up deceased, if they end up possessed or something, or maybe they see far too much and we couldn't bullshit our way out of it. There are various things that we do. One might become Section 13, where you are ixnayed, removed from society in various ways. Margot and Kaiba, this usually leads to them being axed effectively. Some individuals are Section 42'd, which is what we're technically trying to do to Graham, which is they're shown the truth and they are brought into I.C.S. There are others, but these are the two main ones. I forgot the number I used for basically, MIB. Does this pen look weird? Flash. Okay, they forgot it. There is a version of that, of we try to convince them that nothing happened.
Neuralizer, I think it was, right?
Yeah, the neuralizer, basically. So basically it ends in goodbye, the long rest, the permanent long rest, the welcome to I.C.S, or please go back to your life if you know what's good for you.
But we should theoretically also offer, does his pen look
Hypnosis.
weird? Have, like therapy?
Yes,
Like just basic therapy?
indeed. Depending on how much they were exposed to. Unfortunately, you two know the darker side to I.C.S. If things cannot be handled quickly, if people will basically cause a ruckus and they have too much proof or they're too adamant or set on releasing information, they are removed. But yes, they do try to offer the absolute best they possibly can, usually recommend them to a specialist outside of I.C.S. to handle them, of course. Someone that's maybe used to hallucinations or things of that nature. But I.C.S. wants to keep things quiet. You're very aware of that. And Margot, you saying that this trauma is too far back, you are also correct. Getting someone to forget something that happened 20 plus years ago that maybe shaped their life, that's not possible. They might as well just be dead if you're trying to make them to forget what basically brought them to where they are now. It's just not possible.
Yeah, I'm inclined to say the only thing he really needs is something to get him out of this funk. But I don't know if I.C.S. would cover that, because that's definitely not under our umbrella of specialties. It's also not entirely relevant right now.
Indeed. It's definitely complicated.
I'm sure I.C.S. has a sister company that works in like revalidation.
Actually, yes, that makes a lot of sense. Getting like maybe mind-wide people who had to forget a little too much back on their feet.
Indeed.
All right, anyway, I had a question and I
we'll
lost
let
it.
them deal with that. It's fine.
I mean, they may also determine that he doesn't need help. I don't know. We could mention it to them.
I mean, I'm sure asking him these weird questions definitely isn't helping him, but...
Well, it's bringing back all the hard memories, but we kind of need to know.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's not like, hey, monsters exist. So it's just, your son's weird. And he goes, yeah, my son's weird.
All right, so he said that he didn't notice the kid acting funny before, but he may not have been paying attention.
Correct. Any excuse he could possibly find to
I was
say
also going to ask something, yeah.
the kid's
You go
normal.
first.
If you have a good question, we can end the session on that.
I wanted to know if he'd gone to any sleep studies.
The father or the son?
The son.
Sure. As you ask that, he gives you a look to say, that's a really, really specific question.
Which is why I was going to ask the more broad question. Do you remember any kind of, I don't know, weird studies or weird doctors or weird anything?
Yeah, healthcare. Let's go with that wording instead of mine.
Sure. We'll do a combination of the two. As you basically ask, did you send Emmanuel through any sort of therapy, whether it be through sleep or through studying him in various natures? And this question seemingly coming out of nowhere and being very particular, Alec gives you a look as if before needing to open his mouth, yes. And we'll further answer that next week.